We're going to solve a murder, okay? You better be ready. You better be ready. You better be on Twitch. We're solving a murder tonight. I think it kind of solved itself, but we're going to talk about a murder. I need all the autists to show up. All the internet autists. We need you. Jizzy McBride. Ask not what my stream can do for you, but how much can you send through Buy Me a Coffee? That's the question. Mariah, stop messaging me. I hate you. The lover spat.
What you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the Dow. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth
Can someone post the link? It's always the same. Twitch.tv
ourselves. We won't let the
/ Cold Break Confess, or just go to Twitch and type in Cold Break Confessional. And it'll bring you to.
betray. We were raised to lose.
Dr. J over here telling people Will is live.
Wake the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Oh, Liberty Warriors got fake bricks now too. A cowboy hat and safety glasses. That is a new look, my man. Oh my God.
And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the
Oh my God, Tammy the Hammer's back. God damn it, I should have called in. With your Prime membership, just ask one of the mods to send you the subscription link. There's a link that you click that'll make it a whole lot less complicated if you're subscribing with Prime. It's pinned in one of the mod chats. They know where it's at, but one of them will send it to you. Jilly's mom. Let's do this. Get your detective hats on. We're solving a murder.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is...
It's demanding. Look out.
Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Binda land. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome. I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. Don't ask me how my day went. It was amazing. Okay? I don't want to talk about it, but it was fucking utterly amazing. That was Linda Binda. She's on TikTok, YouTube, Cameo. That's from Cameo. That's our intro. Thank you for joining us. I'm Will Bird, Cold Beer Confessional. Hope you guys are having an amazing day and also don't want to talk about it. We got a murder to solve. Oh, that's Liberty Warrior up there in the corner. He's got some new backdrops. Hold on. Let's talk about this. He's got a cowboy hat on and safety glasses, and he's got a lower quality version of Phil's studio. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. He went to marry his secret Mormon girlfriend, but they can't live together because she's super religious, but she's rich and bankrolls him being a gamer guy with this cowboy hat and his safety glasses. Oh, man. That should be good. We're solving a murder tonight, so I hope you're here for that. Thank you, guys. I didn't get a chance to. I'll play that dono clip in a second. But I saw Gypsy Daisy with 200 bits, Austin Milbarge with 100 bits. I don't know when these actually happen.
Hey, Will.
Oh, there's a dono
It's
clip.
me. I was hoping you could help a brother out. I heard that it was Legend's birthday. I wanted her address to send her some flowers.
I'll give you her address, her number, you know, her blood type. What do you need? I'll give you her social security number. You want a copy of her birth certificate? That means you basically own her. According to the sovereign citizens, you're in there. We solving murder. The fucking military loves anagrams. Let me tell you something, okay? The people in the military that actually fucking put bullets down range can't solve an anagram, okay? Like, most jobs have like an ASVAB score to get into. So you have to score so high to be like a fucking, you know, a helicopter mechanic or an air traffic controller. The people actually firing the shots downrange, they've got a maximum they're allowed to score before they get booted out. They can't do anagrams. They definitely can't do murder. I ain't having it. Can't do it. Thank you for the donations. That was Gypsy Daisy, Austin Milbarge, Judgment for everyone. There it went. Jilly's mom. With the that's the link that you'll use every time to subscribe. That's just the easiest. There's other ways to do it. There's like a way to click subscribe and then check a box that says use Prime. That link's the easiest. Fucking throw that link on there, whatever. If you're watching on YouTube tonight, you're not going to see the full show. Might as well come to Twitch. We're solving a murder. You know, normal things. How's your guys' day? I may or may not have ate a bunch of mushrooms and then operated a commercial lawnmower in the same 20-foot by 20-foot area for about an hour. It was growing back faster than I could fucking... it was growing back faster than I could mow it. So, I'm doing all right. How you guys doing? If you want to support the stream, you want to contribute, go to coldbeer.fund, 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 F-U-N-D. Yeah, you can contribute to the show over there. You can follow my links. We got Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Facebook, TikTok, Rumble, Discord, and Bovada. Bovada is an affiliate link. And the square box is on the left is how you donate. Buy me a coffee for text-based. Join Patreon for extra content. We got to get back into extra content. Are we looking into, or the Patreon content? Are we looking into Libert? No, but I'm still convinced that he's that smudged figure from those little girls in Indiana that went missing on that trail. Can somebody remind me of that case? That's Liberty Warrior, 100%. Well, my opinion. Personally, I 100% think that it's him. I can't prove it, okay? I'm not a rocket surgeon, but it's Liberty Warrior. He framed some other guy, and that's how he got away with it. There you go. Yeah, you can send buy me a coffee for a text-based message. We just had a dono clip come in. If you don't know what that looks like, that was what Mort did. There's also a donate button here that doesn't send an alert if you want to do it privately. I appreciate those donations as well. I do get those, and I get an email from them, and I won't say your name if obviously you didn't want to shout out, but I would just say thank you for that donation. There's a lot of people that use this like silent donate button. I guess they don't want to interrupt the show or whatever. All right, before we get started and get our what are those hats that like Sherlock Holmes wears? I need one of those. Like a detective's hat. What's it called? It's sort of like an old man hat. Sage used to wear them. What are those called? A beret? I don't think so. That's probably not right. What's the hat's called? A sage hat? There you go. A deer stalker. A detective's hat. All good answers. I think you're just making shit up. A flap hat. That's definitely it. 100%. That's it. 100% a flap hat. All right, let's see what we got to get warmed up. We got to get in the good spirit. We got to get going. So here is like a magical survival story that you guys will probably love. Right? I'm just here to make everybody feel better.
Right there, right there. That's it, right there. Right.
All right, so let me read this disclaimer because these guys get fucked up, okay? These guys get fucked up. Warning, a derby. That sounds right, Robert. You might be the only person that got it. A derby. Warning, all footage was captured by professional storm chasers. I don't believe that. I do not believe that at all. Let me tell you why I don't believe that. At the end of this video, there is a grown-ass man who supposedly is a 14-plus year professional storm chaser, and he's squatting on the side of his road crying. So, I don't know. It was the Delphi murders? Thank you. It was the Liberty Warrior death tape is what it was, I think.
Right there, right there. That's it, right there. Right there, that's it. Woo! Oh my... What's good, bud? Dude. We gotta go east. Tanner, be cognizant. It's coming towards us. Yeah, we gotta go.
Gotta go.
Road. Go. Straight.
Gotta go.
It's going a little bit wider. Go. We're actually fine. It's gonna go south of us. Hold on.
We're actually fine. These are famous last words. I can't see the tornado. We're actually fine. It's gonna go south of us. Everybody knows how predictable tornadoes are. We can tell exactly where they're headed.
We're going north. Yeah, our escape route's north right now.
Nailed it, Jim.
Don't make it seem like it's okay right now. I get it. Yep. Oh my gosh! Oh! Holy! Lord Jesus, please protect us in the name of...
That didn't look good. That doesn't look south of us, does it?
Subscribed for 17 months.
What's up, Rolo? 17 months, dude. Thank you for that. You've been around for a long time. With an intermission in between, but you've been around for a long time ever since we first started covering like Trump and the election and stuff. Thank you for the resubscription.
Our escape route's north right now.
So he says our escape route is north right now. And then this hole comes down right in front of the fucking car.
Oh my god!
Oh shit. That looked like death. That looked like certain utter fucking death. But somehow they skated through.
Lord Jesus, please protect us in the name of Jesus. We're okay. We're okay. Dude, I don't know where that tornado is right now. I don't like that either. Tornado's right next to us, right here. Holy shoot. Dear Lord, please.
So they're kind of trapped, right? So anytime there's electricity on the ground like that, or there's a power line down or anywhere close to you, the last thing you want to do is get out of your car. I watched my dad was a dump truck foreman, and he had a dump truck tear down some electrical lines. And luckily, the driver stayed in this case, because they've actually had drivers die, like tearing down electrical lines and get out and be electrocuted to death. The driver stayed in the truck, and it was like some main transmission lines, like they didn't trip a breaker or shut off or whatever. It blew out all four tires, or it blew out all the tires. It had more than four. It actually was a tri-axle. It blew out all the tires except for the ones they raised, the cheater axles. They weren't touching the ground. So that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 tires. It blew out all 10 tires, and the truck was smoking when we got there. But luckily, they come and turn it off. So they kind of trapped. You don't want to get out of a car. You got to down the electrical lines or arcing and shit. So kind of fucked now. You idiot's going to have PTSD. Please! And not just from the raccoon fighting. So they are literally screaming. Someone in the car is screaming, please, Jesus, please, oh God, Jesus. But the disclaimer wants you to believe that they've been doing this for 14 years and they're all trained professionals. So I'm not sure if I'm believing the disclaimer when they start screaming shit like that. Like, if I was in the car, okay, let's say I was in the car and I've never done this before, and they said, trust me, we've got almost 15 years of experience. As soon as someone starts screaming, please, Jesus, oh God, Jesus, please, I'm assuming that we're all either dead or I'm going to be the only person that survives. Maybe I'm the only person that makes it. And then I'll be the guy with the experience. Jesus! It is wild. I'll tell you one thing that I never thought about until a tornado, till I've been through a tornado. How dark it gets, right? Like a storm gets dark and it'd be like overcast, but it's still bright outside. A tornado gets almost like, I guess it depends. But the tornado that I was in, the tornadoes that I've been in, it looks like nighttime. Like it gets dark as fuck, like much darker than like the worst thunderstorm you could imagine. It's wild. Okay, this is after when they crawl out of the car and they're thanking God for saving them. This is their crushed car. That car doesn't have 14 years of experience, I'll tell you that much. Been rode hard and tornadoed wet. And then this is a guy on the side of the road crying about his 14 years of experience. It'll buff it out. There's your problem right there. No mirrors. Ain't got no mirrors. Oh, Jesus Christ. So that was a pretty wild video I thought I would show. I have another one. I don't know. Let's see. Is it as funny? Oh, it had me laugh. I don't want you to pay attention to the content of this next video. It says, we got trapped inside a tornado. Thankful to be alive. Full video on YouTube. But again, the disclaimer is pretty misleading on this video, okay? That's from Tanner, Charles Tanner. It's Tanner.Charles is his handle, but his actual name is, Tanner Charles. I don't want you to pay attention to the next video I'm going to play to the content whatsoever. The video is regardless. I do want you to listen to the dialogue. And when I heard this guy, it's like an Indian dude. I don't know where the fuck he's from. Some third world country. When I tell you that I laughed for probably a good 40 minutes, this guy is trying so hard to like sell this video in English, which isn't even a second language to him. He knows probably like 6 words. And he goes, "Oh no, toilet." just watch. Just watch. And the line we're listening for is, "Oh no, toilet." Here we go.
Oh.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Toilet.
So these So these are the guys that like bust jars with like colored water. I showed you these videos before, right? They like bust jars with like colored water and shit in it. Well, apparently their budget has fucking expanded orders of magnitude, because instead of old milk jugs, they've got 2 non-matching toilets. And he says, "Oh no. Oh no. Toilet." And that's the whole caption, folks. Let's do it again. In case you missed it. Oh no. Oh no. Toilet. Like they didn't set up this contraption. Like they just went to take a shit and they're like, "What the fuck?" They look outside in their driveway and their toilet's just like swinging by, and he's like, "Oh no. Toilet." Oh, thanks for the warning. Appreciate it.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Toilet.
Oh no. Toilet.
Toilet. What is going on? Keeps you on the edge. Oh, what was this cut? Do we have a cut because the toilets never hit each other? Oh, yep, there we go. Now this one's suddenly swinging more left and right for some reason. All I heard was, "Oh no, toilet." And then this happened. A cut. Mysteriously. There it goes.
Oh. Oh.
Oh no, toilet.
Oh. Oh.
To be fair, I don't know how third world they are. This could be the first toilet they've ever seen. And they had to use Google Images to search it up, and they just popped up on his screen. He's like, oh no, toilet. But they were water fountains. Oh no, toilet.
Oh.
Bruh. Amazing. It just caught me off guard.
Oh.
Whoa. Well, it just caught me off guard the way they're like, "Oh no." Like they didn't set up this fucking trapeze act here. The fuck is going? Oh no. Like they just walked outside, and this is their caption of the video. They just walked outside, started recording. They're like, oh no. Oh no. Toilet. It tore me up.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
Toilet.
Toilet.
Toilet. Fuck. Man. Sometimes I wished I lived in a third world country. So those are some videos I found. There's also this video that we didn't cover. First of all, I would like to introduce you to my brand new favorite sport. I will no longer be paying attention to any other sports balls teams. Not for the San Diego Tampa Rays or whatever they are. Like, I have decided I'm sticking with one sport. Not going to be a bandwagon fanboy. Instead, I'm sticking with this one sport, and you will not change my mind. It's the only sport that I can see actually being practical in real life. I'm never gonna have to recover a fumble in the grocery store, and people are gonna be trying to tackle me like a lady drops her baby, and I'm like, oh, fumble, and I pick it up and run back for a safety. Like, I don't see that happening. Okay, this maybe.
Raymond Felton warming up. Ray is the first competitor in our third bout this evening. He's a mixed martial arts fighter that currently holds a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But most importantly, Raymond Felton has competed in Car Jitsu in the past. He has a wealth of experience behind the wheel, and he hopes that will...
In Soviet Russia, toilets shit on you.
...make the difference in this match tonight. His opponent is Q Davidson of Branson, Missouri. He's a mixed martial arts fighter who also holds a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But the difference here is that...
Wondering what this sport is? Wonder what this sport is? I know it looks like they're just doing Jiu-Jitsu or karate or something. Hell no. We haven't even shown you the main part of this sport. A Toyota Corolla. Huh? That get your attention?
Davidson has yet to compete inside of an automobile, so there is a bit of a learning curve here, but Q Davidson still hopes to pull the upset and make a name for himself at Car Jitsu Championship.
Car Jitsu! I told you I don't disappoint.
Try. We got our two fighters ready for the next.
Look at all these belts back here. I'll give them a hint. If they really want to do like improve their marketing and make a splash in this combat sports, they need to start putting like headlights or something on the belt. Like I've got the 1992 Turbo Jetta TDI belt.
Next bout, this is at the 160 weight. We have Ray Fulton and Q Davidson. And so we're going to do a coin toss. I'm going to let you call in the air, Ray.
Okay. Tails.
Tails. And it is heads. Driver's seat. Go ahead.
There you go. Coin toss to see who's in the driver's seat.
Inspect that vehicle. Get in there now. You got 30 seconds while I talk to Ray. Come on over.
This is kind of like one of those nightmare Uber customer videos. They're like, you won't believe what happened. I was driving Uber.
So,
God just
tell me a little bit about your martial arts background, Ray.
So started kickboxing when I was really young, about 8 years old.
All right, so doing a full inspection. Got to check out the seat. Check everything out. Inspect the seat belt. Is this a tilt steering wheel or no? Windshield wipers, 4 ways, everything on. Hazard lights.
High school age, decided I wanted a few less concussions from joining wrestling.
How'd that work out for you?
It did, and
I honestly believe the way they could step this up just a little bit is if the car was actually moving. So not only did they have to fight in the car, but they had to keep from wrecking and dying.
Never got a concussion doing for about a year, and then really fell in love with jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah, okay. That seat goes all the way back, baby. That's how one of my sons was conceived right there.
All right, and
there was an Indian guy there too.
Yeah, transitioned from that to mixed martial arts. Did that for about a year, and then fell in love with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, okay. I told you he was going to check it. It goes all the way back.
You've actually been in a car before doing some car jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, a couple times. I was one of the first guys out here.
Okay, really? All right, we got a pioneer with us. All right, so I'm not going to have you share any of your little secrets, your trade secrets, but you just keep them and good luck with it.
Well, to be fair, if I wanted to fight inside my Jeep, why would I have all that chloroform? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was going to fight inside of my Jeep, then I wouldn't have invested so much in the chloroform. What kind of ear guard is that? His mouthpiece behind his ear.
And get in that passenger seat. Go ahead and check out this vehicle. Appreciate it.
It's called, I already told you, it's called Car Jitsu. Okay? Car Jitsu.
Phew. So
inside a small garage.
What's your routine that you train at?
With a pop, like coming from the tailpipe into the back seat. First one to pass out or tap out.
I actually train with Branson Fight Club.
Right
I've been training for about 5 years with them. So.
Now he's got to go inspect the passenger
MMA,
seat.
correct?
Yeah.
Make sure the seatbelt works.
Full MMA, so full contact sparring and
Work on unbuckling a car. Does this seat lean back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's got a sunroof. That's nice.
Now he's got some car jitsu experience, but have you like done anything in the car? Kind of test it out a little bit?
No, I haven't really done anything in the car.
What's up, Tigzel? I see you over there on Rumble.
Play with it, but as far as
Jay Yachty,
excited to compete, I had a fight fall out this last weekend, so
maybe that's your
awesome
name.
for me to be able to just jump right into another competition.
Awesome.
Rudy.
Hopefully cardio good for you.
Let's take a look at the rules of Car Jitsu. The competitors begin seated with safety belts fastened. When the match starts...
So the seatbelt's a big deal, okay? You have to be seated in the car. The winner of the coin toss gets to pick steering wheel or not steering wheel, which is probably advantageous if you don't want someone to mount you because there's not as much room. Ask Mariah how she knows. She permanently has the Ford emblem on the small of her back from a 1991 F-250 that I used to own. Don't ask me how I got there. Kind of like a little truck tramp stamp. Anyways, seatbelts have to be on, and they're actually a big deal because they're going to try to choke each other, these fucking seatbelts. They're going to try to keep the other person from unbuckling. It's wild. Just wait.
They unbuckle and engage, using any part of the vehicle to their advantage. Points may be awarded during the match, but have no bearing on the outcome. It takes a submission to win the round at Car Jitsu Championship. If the bout is even after 2 rounds, we go to a 3rd round and possibly sudden death to decide a winner. All right, here we are back at the car. Davidson in the driver's seat, Felton on the passenger side.
Fighters, buckle up. Buckled.
Everybody buckled?
Oh, right away, Felton shows his experience.
Wait a second. Wait, what happened? It's too quick.
Buckled. 100.
Oh, right away, Felton shows his experience there. He reaches over with his left hand and blocks the seatbelt of Davidson. You can see here in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Reaches over, blocks the seatbelt with his left hand, frees himself.
The whole reason I found this is because I was under the impression this was tips on picking up a girl and going all the way after a nice dinner. Turns out you just choke them out, then do what you got to do.
With his right hand and immediately just goes to smashing Davidson into the driver's side door. And right now you can see he's trying to slide his knee through for knee on belly or possibly even mount here. And Davidson, oh.
I always think it's so weird to see a fight where no one's saying anything. There's like no noises or anything. It's a creepy fight.
It looks like he's got the driver's side seatbelt here. He's trying to wrap that driver's side seatbelt around the neck of Davidson. And Davidson, it's almost too late here. By the time he's figured out what's happening, he has got that seatbelt wrapped all the way around his throat. He's trying to defend, but there's not a lot that can be done here. He is in a bad situation. And just like that, Raymond Felton wins the first round with a seatbelt choke.
Seatbelt choke.
Davidson doesn't look happy, but that's the name of the game. And you can see here in the submission replay here, Felton right away.
Is his shirt hung in the sunroof? Wait a second. How'd that happen? Or is it hung on that guy's big toe? Okay, it's hung on that guy's big toe. Never mind. I'm less confused now, I think. He gave him the old toe hook.
Felton right away gets to smashing, and as soon as he sees the opportunity to grab that seatbelt, he grabs the seatbelt. You can see right here, he's already starting to push it across the back of the neck of Davidson. And as you can see here, it's already around the neck of Davidson. There's nowhere to go. It's just a bad...
How'd they crack the windshield already?
Bad situation. Fantastic job. Good job, Ray.
Is this where those cars go when they have those billboards that say, like, cars for kidneys? Does the loser have to give up a kidney?
All right, we switch seats here for round 2.
Buckle. Hajime.
Okay, round 2 underway, and it looks like Ray gets the
Blocked
jump
his
on
seatbelt
Davidson
again.
Ray already all over Davidson. Davidson's trying to get out of there.
He slipped him once.
He's
That's
fighting
not gonna
hands
land.
with that front headlock. That's the go-to for
That's
Raymond.
not gonna land.
That front headlock,
Too
he's
sloppy.
threading that guillotine, but there's not a lot of room to work inside the car.
Is that just a... Wait, is that just a cell phone? Is the sunroof camera just somebody's cell phone? Is that... They must not have a real big budget. Like, I see this cameraman down here. Got it. And I'm sure they got some... Obviously, there's a camera mounted that we're looking from. But is one of the cameras just like, hey, you mind popping out your Samsung and just laying it up there, front-facing camera, please? Stream it to TikTok. Makes it look like a real legitimate sport that way.
Okay, Davidson's making a little bit of space here for himself. He's laid down.
He used the full recliner on him. You see that?
On the passenger side seat, but in the process, he has gotten himself tangled up in the seatbelt. So the seatbelt is the worst enemy of Q Davidson in this match tonight. Felton's now trying to shove Davidson down.
Not the guy attacking him and trying to choke him out or make him submit or break some of his bones. The enemy's actually a seatbelt.
Down into the floorboard. Davidson's resisting, but there's just not a lot of room to work here. Ray's got his right foot in the back seat, his left foot on the driver's seat. Davidson tries to push the action into the back seat, but again, the seat.
I've never been banned from anywhere in Europe.
And currently his left leg. We've got another guillotine attempt here into the front headlock.
Is that why they called you backseat Brenda back in your day, Banana?
Ray's got quite a bit of experience inside.
I thought it was because you had a dump truck.
The car, he knows exactly which submissions are applicable and which are not. Davidson's just in a horrible, horrible position here. And at Car Jitsu, it takes a submission to win the round. This is a 2-round fight. And what that means essentially is that Davidson has 1 minute and 35 seconds to secure a submission on Felton or he will lose the match. 90 seconds left in the match and it now moves into the back seat.
I never imagined there'd be this much room to even fight for this long. What's that famous video where he's like... There's like a famous meme video. Let me see if I can find it. Where he's like, does he scream twist his nipple? And he's like, oh my God, dude. The old tit twister, is that what he says? Does he say nipple or does he say something else? The guy's like screaming, twist his, or what's he say? Twist his dick. That's what it is. Twist his dick. Oh my God, the old dick twister. That's funny right here. This is a famous video.
Grab his dick and twist it! Oh my God, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude. Twist that dick! Twist his dick! Twist his dick! Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. The old dick twist!
The old dick twist. Like he's got to move to it. The old dick twist. God, that's some classic internet. We're going to get into some classic internet in a minute, but we got to see who wins this car fight.
Okay, and for the first time...
What if they could get one of those cars that's like alive, like Lightning McQueen, and he fights too?
In the match, it looks like Davidson does have a dominant position.
Twist.
If he can get his right knee down on the seat for a couple of seconds, he can score 4 points for mount. But no, it doesn't look like Ray's going to let that happen. I think Ray would rather give up his back here, and that's what's happening. Davidson
Well, he's giving up the back. I'd know that position from anywhere. Ain't that right, Mariah?
The back of Felton. He's wrapping up a rear naked choke. Doesn't look like he's got it here. It's just more of a bully headlock at this point. He's got one hook in, looking for that second hook. It doesn't look like there's going to be a finish here.
Keep your chin down.
These guys breathing.
Break it.
They're both absolutely exhausted, and it's almost 90 degrees inside the car. It is a miserable...
Are they heating the car? Wait a second. This adds a whole new dynamic. Why is it 90 degrees in the car? Are they heating the car?
Resubscribed for 12 months.
On purpose? Why? Can you imagine the smell in there, Jim? No, I can't, Todd, and I don't want to. The car is exactly, as we know, as announcers for Car Jitsu, the car is exactly held at 93 degrees Fahrenheit. Why?
Miserable situation. Davidson realizing the seatbelt. Oh, the safety. They're both absolutely exhausted, and it's almost 90 degrees inside the car. It is a miserable, miserable situation. Davidson realizing the seatbelt. Oh, the safety lock. The safety lock stops Davidson.
Who's got the brakes on?
And it looks like Ray heard the safety lock and then grabbed the seatbelt himself. Oh, my. 27 seconds. This just doesn't look like it's going to happen for Q Davidson, but what a fantastic match. We got 20 seconds left. Davidson can try and secure something here, but he doesn't have much time to work. He's going to go back to that rear naked choke. It's all he's got. And okay, he's going to smash.
He doesn't have that.
Looks like he's going to smash Raymond
Not with
into
the guy's
the
chin down.
floorboard.
You're just going to pull his chin for a long time.
Let's listen in here. Tap. Oh, we've got a tap.
Oh, wow. Shit. He did.
With 1 second left, Davidson.
With 1 second, talk about a buzzer. But now we got to go to the championship, right? Is it corn or is it a sport?
Tap out over Raymond Felton. Wow, let's take a look at the replay here. Unbelievable. Davidson absolutely earning that submission all the way down into the passenger seat floorboard. Looks like he's balancing on his own head, fiddling with this.
To be fair, I mean, I've put up 90-minute fights to earn Mariah's submission. Usually it's for the back door, though, not the back seat.
Choke, and just in that final half second, oh no, I'm lying. We gotta go. We've got a tap out here. That brings us to 1-1 on the match. Now we're gonna.
I wonder if the guy knew, like, you pass out before you die. If he wouldn't have tapped for 1 fucking second, even if he'd have passed out, like, he would have won.
Back seat for the third round.
3, 2.
Oh, this is the. Hey, you want to split a cab? Oh, wait, you're a killer? This is a good one. Now, I can see this happening a lot. Like, I thought you were my friend. I thought you were my roommate, and we were going back to our apartment together, and we shared an Uber. Oh, you're a serial killer? We'll see about that.
All right, third round's begun. There's no break.
There's no
third round is a 4-minute round. Raymond Felton won the first round with a seatbelt choke. Q Davidson won the second round with a rear naked choke, and here we are in the back seat. 4 minutes for one of these two competitors to submit the other one and win the match. If that does not happen, we will go immediately to sudden death. At this point, Raymond Felton is smashed.
I think, listen, if you're going to have two hot, sweaty men fighting in a 90-degree car, why are they wearing so much clothing? They ought to be allowed one Speedo and, I don't know, 15 ounces of baby oil, at least. Maybe a spritzer.
Q Davidson into the corner of the back seat. Davidson's trying to bridge. He's almost pushed Felton all the way through the closed sunroof. And instead he opts for a judo toss. Q Davidson on top of Felton in the back seat. He's got knee on belly. That's going to be 2 points.
Knee on belly, red, 2 points.
Those are the first points of the match. Q Davidson now in a fantastic position on top of Felton in the back seat. And he's trying to fiddle with the seat belts again, only this time he's going to that back seat belt. And it looks like the safety lock has screwed him again. Ray Felton reaches
out. You got to pull it out easy
by grabbing the seatbelt himself, and now we've got a real struggle here.
If you pull
Davidson
it too quick,
moving into mount. Looks like Davidson's trying to score 4 points.
It's like when someone goes to open the door handle and you're trying to unlock it and they're timing it perfectly. Every time you hit the fucking lock, they're like, is it open? Is it unlocked? Is it unlocked? Is it Mariah's a master at it.
Points for mount here.
Hook is in. 4 points.
And he's got it.
Full mount.
All right, Q Davidson with 6 points. That'll go to the leaderboard for the season. But right now, Davidson is trying to win the match. He's got the seatbelt, and he's trying to wrap it around the neck of Raymond Felton, but Raymond is not having it. It's a very difficult position for Raymond. He's got 2.5 minutes left on the clock. He has to survive. Davidson just doesn't have enough room to work here. He's looking to make some moves. He's looking for opportunities, but unfortunately, there is just no room in the back. Okay, Davidson does have the... Oh, Davidson's tangled up in the seatbelt here. Felton with a slick little move there. Wrapping that seatbelt around the right arm of Davidson.
Maybe they're just letting it soak. Like, I'm not seeing a whole lot of thrusting. Pull it easy. That's right. I'm not a master of pulling out, but I'm pretty sure I could pull that one out.
You can hear these two athletes breathing. This is it. They are miserable and absolutely exhausted. Davidson pushes the passenger seat forward, and now he's got the seatbelt all the way around the neck of Ray Felton. He's got the seatbelt on the right side. He's going to reach under now with his right hand. Looky here. He's going to reach under, and he's going to grab the seatbelt.
So that's like a collar choke. So basically what he's doing is he's getting the seatbelt around it, and even though he can't tighten the seatbelt, if you know what a collar choke is, that's where you reach inside someone's collar and you use their own collar of their shirt, or it'd have to be a heavy duty. It couldn't be like a t-shirt. It'd probably rip. But you reach around and grab it and use that and the leverage of your arm to do a choke. But he's doing the same thing with the seatbelt. So he's reaching around and grabbing it, and then depending on how he moves his arm, will put enough leverage on the seatbelt to choke him out.
And pull it behind the head of Felton, pushing with his left hand.
There you go.
And using his right
choke.
Forearm. And there you have it. It's an Ezekiel seatbelt choke by Q Davidson to win the match. Wow. Unbelievable struggle there. Almost looked like we were watching a crime. Raymond Felton, fantastic.
These announcers are wild. Almost looked like we were watching a crime there, Jim. I thought for sure this match would end in sodomy. Back to you at the ESPN headquarters. What the fuck?
Davidson to win the match. Wow. Unbelievable struggle there. Almost looked like we were watching a crime. Raymond Felton, fantastic fight. Q Davidson, what a great come from behind win. Let's take a look at the replay here. Again, Quentin Davidson, Q Davidson reaching from behind underneath the neck, grabbing the seatbelt, pulling it through.
Why would he say, I thought we were witnessing a crime? Because, like, is it just the car? Because all combat sports, you could technically say that, right? I thought we were witnessing a crime. It looked like an assault. I mean, is it the car that made him think it was a crime? Or does he just say that at all combat sports? Like he's at an MMA fight and he's like, this is almost like a crime. These guys fighting. Or does the car add something to it?
Using his right forearm to apply pressure, pushing with his left hand, and that right there is what a murder looks like, friends.
This dude is what? Who is this announcer? Can I get him to do my next event? Maybe just like a family like a Christmas or something? This is what murder looks like, folks. He's the secret hero here.
Using his right forearm to apply pressure, pushing with his left hand, and that right there is what a murder looks like, friends.
That's what a murder looks like, friends.
Great job, Q Davidson.
This is not the murder we're solving.
Man, I'm here with Q.
But what I'm hoping for, if I drop a little donation link and we get, tens of thousands of dollars, I will show up in Canada and I will be investigating the murder myself. So we'll see what happens.
Who just overcame all the odds. I pulled it. You hit.
It's got to be. And look how humid it is in there. All the windows are up. They got like heat lamps in there. It's like being a fucking 12-hour-old chicken McNugget at McDonald's right at close of shifts. And you're like, no one's going to buy this thing. It's just sitting all there like shriveled up and shit.
He submitted you with that seatbelt, obviously knew what he was doing, and you didn't want to tap too. Man, he had that for a while.
Yeah.
I think you're going to pass out.
That was... Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
He jumped on it and immediately got control of the seatbelt. He knew that he had enough space to get my head in, and he did it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what experience does for you, man.
Absolutely.
For sure. Absolutely.
This is the most heterosexual, inanimate object affection ever.
You lowered that seat to...
That's what murder looks like, folks. All right, guys. We're about to go to Twitch only. We got a murder to solve. We'll be cutting the YouTube feed loose. If you want to move over to Twitch, you're more than welcome. If not, you catch the replay tomorrow. But we'll be moving in between this video and the next thing I'm showing.
To switch your position. Yep. You get on top here, and then you went for the seatbelt, and it had that little safety feature where it got locked.
Yeah, I went on both sides.
Oh, really?
They locked me out on both sides.
Yep, but you just kept going. You went for that rear naked choke, and you know how much time.
Does he think like that? There's like a midget in there that's like holding a tiny little lock, and he's like, "Not for you, son. If it ain't wide, it ain't right." And he's like a racist little midget that holds a seatbelt. It's because you pulled it too fast, you idiot.
Was left in that second round?
This shit couldn't have been more than 20 seconds.
Do they win the car? The car, surprisingly, a very, very, very small prize, I'm assuming. Probably like a couple $100 for winning the whole tournament.
1 second, brother.
What?
1 second. Literally, 1 second.
Hey,
so
that's awesome. I'm so happy that we went all the way without having to have a decision.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
It was good. And I can tell you were still going for the set. So was he. Credit to him.
Absolutely.
Even though he had the submission, he could have just stalled. The rest he didn't. He was going hard.
Oh, yeah.
You were going hard that last round. You could just maybe stall it out.
You were going hard. I was going hard. The audience was hard. The announcer got hard because he said murder out loud, which is kind of creepy. He's probably on some type of database.
Yeah. To be honest with you, as soon as I got mount, I was like, okay, I've got him in a really good spot. He's balled up against the wall, and then I was like, hey, I thought about this earlier. Slide that seat forward, open up space, open up opportunities.
And so,
an Ezekiel choke is what he called the seatbelt choke. It was more like a collar choke. So the announcer's based about the murder stuff, but he got it. And Ezekiel, you know what a rear naked choke is, right? Where you get behind somebody and you kind of brush their hair and use your forearm to choke. It's a blood choke. An Ezekiel choke is the rear naked choke, basically from the front. So you have one arm behind their back, you brace the other arm in front of their neck and push down. So it's just like the rear naked choke, but you're in front of them. The front naked choke.
But what did he tap out from? Because I couldn't see.
It was actually the same thing he got me with, which is that loop choke or adjusted Ezekiel, whatever you want to call it. Using
with the seatbelt?
Correct, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I had to get payback.
You adapted
Just kidding,
quick.
Raymond. I'm kidding.
You adapted quickly. A lot of respect, though, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Q Davidson, congratulations. Let's go on to the next one.
Thank you.
The reason it's called a naked choke is because I'm pretty sure it came from probably like jiu-jitsu or somewhere. And like I was telling you earlier, a collar choke means they have to be wearing a gi or like their, like their uniform they wear, like with a heavy collar. I told you a t-shirt probably wouldn't work on a collar choke because you'll rip it. It has to be something pretty substantial and heavy. Any type of naked choke would mean that they don't even have to have a shirt on, right? You're not using their clothing to do it.
All points awarded during this match will be applied to our leaderboard. And at the end of the season, the top points grappler will face the top submission fighter to see who will become Car Jitsu champion. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring the bell.
So there you go, my new favorite sport, Car Jiu-Jitsu. All right, guys, I am shutting off YouTube. To solve this murder, we're going to have to go a little bit back in the past, obviously, where all things start. At a date previous before today. We'll go back with a time with friends and family and a day before today, today, as if yesterday, a time before the time we're at now. Trying to channel my Eli.
Just resubscribed for 16 hey, I'm back. Long time no see.
Hey, Karen 1672. Thank you for the resubscription. We're going to turn off the YouTube stream. We're gonna go back in time a little bit here. We're gonna solve a murder. I'm gonna throw a bunch of adjectives in and see if I can get some of that fucking Eli audience. That's what I'm worried about. The pathetic patriot. All right, see you guys on YouTube. We'll be over on Twitch if you want to join us. Twitch.tv/coldbeerconfessional. Twitch.tv/coldbeerconfessional. Boom. Or coldbeer.live still works, I'm pretty sure. Coldbeer.live. You can just type that in. It brings you. Let me shut that down. Boom. She's down, boys. All right. So I kind of grew up on the internet. I know I'm younger than a lot of people, and there's people in the audience that are actually younger than me, but I'm probably on the younger, if we average all of our audience, I'm probably on the younger side. So I kind of grew up on the internet. been around the internet for a long time, and there's some things that I've talked to you about, like especially when, if you guys remember when I went on the kill stream with Ethan Ralph, we talked a lot about blood sports, okay? About streamers from yesteryear and how wild a place YouTube used to be. And it was just a different time, right? Let's watch this right quick, and then we'll get to the murder. So this is when McCarthy was voted out as Speaker of the House.
Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The office of Speaker of the House
of
the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
I just want you to see this next guy in the bow tie. He's very upset.
All the time. Mr. House of Representatives, sir, this is
He's a guy from North Carolina.
that the first name on the letter received by the clerk pursuant to Clause 8B, 3B of Rule 1 is the Honorable Patrick T. McHenry of North Carolina. Signed.
So basically, this has never been done before. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Okay? We've never voted out the Speaker. So really, a lot of people didn't even know how it worked. But basically, the Speaker gets to make a secret and sealed list of people that he would like to be the interim Speaker if he loses his job. So he made a list of 1, 2, 10, it doesn't matter, of people that he would like to be the Speaker until they elect a new Speaker. And this guy from North Carolina was number 1 on his list, and he accepted, so they didn't have to go to the number 2 guy. So that's the way it worked. But people really didn't know because this has never happened before. It's been 100 years since they even tried to do this. Much less successfully, it's never happened. So there was an interim Speaker assigned, and he is very upset. He must have been big friends with Kevin McCarthy.
Sincerely, Kevin F. McCumber, Acting Clerk.
Pursuant to Clause 8B3 of Rule 1, I will now act as Speaker pro tem. The Chair will inform the members of the House the following. The office of the Speaker was rendered vacant pursuant to the adoption of House Resolution 757. Upon a vacancy in the office of Speaker, Clause 8B3 of Rule 1 provides that the next member on a list submitted by the Speaker, pursuant to the rule,
a list submitted,
Speaker pro tem, until the election of a new Speaker.
So he's Speaker, basically interim Speaker, Speaker pro tem until it happens.
Bestows the authorities of the office of Speaker upon the Speaker pro tem to the extent necessary and appropriate to that end.
Now watch this gavel action. I've never seen someone so aggressively use a gavel.
In the opinion of the Chair, prior to proceeding to the election of a Speaker, it would be prudent to first recess for the relative caucus and conferences to meet and discuss the path forward.
What's wild is he actually kind of misses. Like he hits far on the screen left, his right. And then he hits so far on that side so hard it bounces all the way back to the other side.
Accordingly, pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the Chair declares the House in recess subject to the call of the Chair.
See that action?
Pro Tem, Congressman Patrick.
Very, very upset here.
The Chair declares the House in recess subject to the call of the Chair.
All right, let's slow this down to half speed. Let's see what kind of action we got here. We got to mute it because the audio is sounding weird. All right, we're half speed. So he does a hard strike. But where the fuck does he hit it? We can see the plate right here. He didn't hit the... He hit the side of the plate? Then the hammer bounces all the way over here. I don't even think he hit it. Did he hit the table? Then it bounces all the way over here. So his one moment to shine, when McCarthy's like, when you get up there, these motherfuckers ousted me. When you get up there, please fucking destroy that fucking gavel. You hear me? You put that fucking plate into orbit. Like we're out here breaking rocks like a chain gang. And he's like, I've never done manual labor. Oh, anyways, intentional gaveling.
Accordingly, pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the chair declares the House in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
Speaker Pro Tem, Congressman Patrick McHenry, Republican of North Carolina, a supporter
To be
of
fair,
Kevin McCarthy.
I think what Kevin McCarthy said was right. Like, you can't be mad that you can't be mad over this vote because this is the way government's supposed to work, right? We give up some things, they give up some things. You need to have bipartisan approval to get stuff through, when usually it's done through like tricks and backhand deals and voting on party lines and who can make enough. Sometimes you got to work with the other side. I think that's the way the government was set up to work. Now, we've been down orders of magnitude of different layers of fucking corruption and backroom deals and shit like this, but what he said is actually not inaccurate in any way. Like, you can't really be mad that I got the support from the left. You were presented with the most conservative bill that we've ever presented so far, and you still turned it down because you wanted to shut down. So fuck you. I'm going to go and work bipartisan here. That doesn't explain the hammering. Okay. Anyways, back to before time. Before now, we were talking about, when I went on the kill stream and stuff, internet blood sports. So there's a few people who made big names on internet blood sports, right? You know some of them. Ralph was one of them. Ethan Ralph was a big guy. There's like Worski. He was a big guy. There's a few different guys that I used to watch back in the day. And basically, YouTube was like the Wild West. There's people out here like screaming racial slurs, or people out here like using other slurs, sexual orientation and shit, and just calling people out and saying wild shit. Death threats and swattings. Somebody swatted one guy and got his dog killed. It was wild. And there was a whole bunch of race realist people that are like, I'm not racist. I'm just being real about race, and black people are dumb and shit like that. Like, it was just crazy. It's crazy. The internet was a Wild West, and that's the internet I grew up on. And one of those characters, I'm sure some of you will recognize his name, maybe Dr. J. She's been around the block a time or two, I've heard. One of those characters was a guy named J.F. Garpy. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, Will can't pronounce words. No, his name is Jean-Francois Garpy. He goes by JF. Okay? JF Garpy. Now, he makes a... Now, JF, I want you... I kind of... Before I say anything about JF Garpy, who is still currently a streamer, he was just live like 30 minutes ago. That's why I started so late, as I was finishing his crazy fucking live. Now, to go back to JF, he was a Canadian. Somehow he started working at Duke University. He came out and said, oh, I'm leaving academia because I no longer trust in it. It's gone woke. This is back years ago, right? Academia's gone woke. We're disgusted with it. That gets him mentioned in some national news articles, like some headlines in Slate and shit like that. Then it comes out that it was really about like a sexual incident with a student. He was asked to leave. Of course, is always a lie. But anyways, that's how he kind of made a name for himself. And he's debated everybody. Like, he's debated Destiny. He's debated Vosh. He's debated some of the biggest internet streamers. He's just kind of past his prime. Like, it's not, most platforms will not put up like with racial slurs or any other type of slurs or race realism and shit anymore. But back in the day, that's how he made his name. He's just kind of past his prime. Even though he still does it, he's like an Odyssey type streamer or Rumble. But here is a good breakdown. This is Nicholas Diorio. We're going to watch some of his breakdown. And now again, remember, this is from 3 years ago. We're going to watch some of the breakdown of who JF Garpy is before we talk about the murder that I think he's involved in. Here we go.
Is politics. As a non-political channel by nature, the general thought process with that would be, why bother injecting my own beliefs into my videos? Many people have vastly different political ideologies, especially considering that my audience pulls from many different countries, where there are many different cultures, to impact their own localized or broader beliefs, including my thoughts on, say, the 2020 election would be both out of place in the content that I make, and it would create a situation where I can potentially alienate a portion of my audience for a pretty unnecessary reason. Well, today we're going to be throwing all of that to the wayside. We're going to be talking about politics. However, my political opinions will not be the ones on display. No, today we're going to be discussing a true intellectual, a visionary from the top down. But to really get a taste boast of this man's genius, we have to attempt to put our own beliefs to the side and look at the world through his eyes. Leave your preconceived notions at the door and close your eyes to really get yourself prepared for what we are about to journey into. For a brief moment, take the shape of an extreme conservative, a man who rejects mainstream politics, a man who's brave enough to turn the left's moralism on its head and wear terms like racist and sexist like a badge.
Wears terms like racist and sexist like a badge of honor. This is going to introduce us to JF. This is Nicholas Diorio's video. That's not mine. If he wants to claim it or whatever, that's fine. I just need... This is probably the best. I'll drop the link to it, but this is probably the best background video that I could find because he did like a whole exposed video on him.
You're a man who isn't afraid to use the term alt-right, and your driving force is the mere thought of a genetic utopic ethno-state where only societies...
It was kind of back when like being alt-right and asking like the J question, like the Jew question, and doubting the Holocaust, or, you know, believing in race realism, like black people are just prone to be more violent. It's in their genes. That was all fucking edgy and cool back then.
His best can thrive in the future. Now picture a man just like that. Are you picturing him? Do you have an image in your head? Well, now we're going to add just a...
What's up, Tiff Dragon? How are you doing today? I don't know where you live, but how's the weather where you're at? Good to see you.
Little teeny tiny, just a small smidget of context. Imagine this man, the man we just established, wants to live in a genetic utopia.
Donna.
Cheated on his wife and attempted to run away with an autistic 19-year-old girl. Yeah.
What? There's a little snippet there. Did you guys catch that? Cheated on his wife and attempted to run away with a 19-year-old autistic girl, which the court in that case will prove that she had the mentality of a 12-year-old.
This man, the man we just established, wants to live in a genetic utopia. Cheated on his wife and attempted to run away with an autistic 19-year-old girl.
That's JF. Okay.
Yeah, if you can't already tell, I lied. This is going to be one of those videos.
Okay, can I, since this is WWE, let me drop a shoulder from the top ropes. I have no idea what it is, but Jeff, I'd like your take on it since it's out there in the fucking public arena. But you said, essentially, JF is the guy that had to have a state intervene because he was too busy fucking retards. What the fuck is that about?
Then you're talking about a different alt-right. Alt-right is classically, by definition, part of a white nationalist movement, the alt-right. You can't be white nationalist without talking about other colored people. You just focus on the white.
Jesus, that's so sad, man. Yeah, well, how bad was the autism?
Jesus, Anthony.
Chances are you may have heard about JF from his videos being deleted in the Vox Adpocalypse, or through one of his viral videos that have surfaced on Twitter, which all seem to mysteriously disappear after a while. Well, I've been able to track a few down, and believe me, they're coming. But before we get there, let's start with who our favorite new intellectual is.
We can put cream on your penis so that only the penis grows without changing your mind.
I don't really, like, Nick's all right. He's just not my cup of tea. I just feel like he seems like he might be a cool guy to hang out with. Sometimes just listen to him. I don't know. It's probably my hang up. But it's just, I don't know, something about listening to him. He does good content, good research, good videos. Something just rubs me the wrong way when I listen to him, but he does a good job. So this is JF here, and it's JFG live streams, JF Garpy. And on this one, he's talking to an incredibly racist person. But we'll get into it. Just check out his background here.
That you're a girl. Imagine you're a 17-year-old and you're faced with these decisions.
Originally from Canada, JF got a job at Duke University in their neuroscience department back in 2011 with an associative research role. He would eventually part ways with Duke University in 2015, citing on Facebook that he'd grown disillusioned with the academic community.
So it says, again, this is all going to turn out to be a lie, but in 2015, he put this out. This week, I resigned from my position at Duke University with no intent to solicit employment in state-funded academic research positions in any foreseeable future. Many reasons have motivated this choice, starting with personal ones. I will soon be a father and want to be spending time with my son at home. Other reasons have to do with research academia itself. Throughout the years, I have been discovering more and more of inner workings of academia and how modern scientific research is done, and I have acquired a certain degree of discouragement in face of what appears to be abandonment by my research community of the search for knowledge. I found scientists to be more preoccupied by their own survival in a very competitive research environment than by the development of true understanding of the world. By creating a highly competitive environment that relies on the selection of researchers based on their scientific productivity, as it is referred to, we have populated the scientific community with what I like to call chickens with no head. That is, researchers who can produce multiple scientific articles per year, none of which with any particular important impact on our understanding of the world. Because of this, science is moving forward, similarly to how a headless chicken walks with no perceivable goal. This issue itself, so basically he was like it's almost like the fucking science has gone woke or has a different goal other than this, so I'm leaving. But what actually comes out about this is that there was some sexual impropriety between him. He was employed as almost like a research fellow or whatever in the North, and a student who considered him her mentor.
Community. This Facebook post got him coverage by Slate.com in an article about former academics who were unhappy with the current scene and had chosen to voice their opinions directly to the public. It would later come out in custody court that his leave from Duke University wasn't as voluntary as he initially led us to believe. His now ex-wife claims that he was asked not to return.
Okay, well, you had to be triggered about that somewhere else. We're not talking about that right now.
Because of an inappropriate relationship with an undergraduate lab assistant. Apparently, JF's mistress told a private investigator that JF had mentored her at Duke University and wanted her to birth his child. This wasn't just he said, she said either. I'm referencing a sworn affidavit from court. JF confirmed to the Daily Beast that this relationship did occur and it was consensual, with the student even disclosing.
So it did occur and it was consensual, and that the student had disclosed it at Duke University. And he says there has never been an investigation against me at Duke University being in a relationship with this woman. There's never been an investigation. But they had a different handbook policy about no one's arguing the word nationalism. The problem with the alt-right is it's white nationalism. No one's arguing what nationalism means. But anyways, they had a policy that consensual relationships weren't banned. It was only non-consensual as long as you weren't in a position of power. Then they changed this policy after JF left.
Closing it to Duke University directly. JF then claims that there was never even an investigation conducted by Duke at all. The current faculty-student relationship...
So clearly he left over this sexual misconduct, but he claims it's because the scientific world has changed.
Policy at Duke was updated on July 1st, 2018.
Heavy rain? Uh-oh. Look out.
And it now prohibits consensual relationships. This information can be found in Appendix Z. The 2002 policy that had been in effect while JF was there stated that consensual relationships were only prohibited if and only if there was a position of authority over the student. Considering JF was apparently the girl's mentor, it creates a load of...
In an affidavit from a private investigator hired by Miss Newton, this man reported on Dr. Garpy secretly examining emails, electronic calendars, and other computer activity from the plaintiff's work before and since the plaintiff has separated from the defendant. Dr. Garpy denied that he has done this. This investigator, Mr. Stevenson, interviewed Diana Z., a former romantic partner of Dr. Garpy. In this interview, Miss Z spoke of Dr. Garpy wanting her to purchase a gun when he grew suspicious of her former boyfriend. She also acknowledged that she was an undergraduate and was supervised or mentored by Dr. Garpy during her assistantship in this lab. Dr. Garpy reported he turned his weapons over to the Durham Police Department because he was worried that Miss Newton would seek a DVPO, domestic violence protective order, based on his having a weapon. So this guy is like, when you hear JF talk, it's basically like he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, but he's not. He's just an air about him, right? And he already has this like fucking Canadian asshole, like I don't want to hear your fucking accent talking down to me. Then on top of that, he thinks he's like the smartest person in the room when he really has pretty fucking shitty takes on shit. It's pretty bothersome. Not to mention, he's basically a walking, talking hypocrite.
New questions to ask here, and it seems close enough that you'd think an investigation would have occurred, even if it didn't necessarily find him guilty of committing any wrongdoing here. Now, a sworn court statement, look, they're not perfect. People do lie, maybe under oath, I don't know. If there isn't any outrageous behavior on the horizon, we could probably just chalk this one up to a misfire, right?
Now, the problem with this game is these kids.
Okay.
You end up with 8 years old playing this. It's like, you cannot even do 6 jokes. I know people have...
So he says the problem with Fortnite, playing Fortnite, is there's kids. You have a bunch of 8-year-olds playing this, and I can't even make sex jokes.
The game? Oh my god, there's some Mexican family there. I will mute them because I cannot stream an entire Mexican family.
There's a Mexican family in the background. I can't stream an entire Mexican family.
So as we just explained, JF has been striking out. 2 balls went right down the middle, and our boy will not go down swinging. Is this ball about to head for deep right?
He himself calls himself not a racist, but a race realist. That he sees the difference in race, and he's willing to admit that black people are just prone to crime and prone to being dumb and prone to like it. You know, it's pretty fucking crazy takes he has. that he applies to an entire section of people.
Field? Well, JF didn't even wait for the legal battle with his third wife to be over before he began a relationship with a 19-year-old girl.
While Garpy was fighting his wife for custody, he was also courting a 19-year-old. He was dating a 19-year-old girl with autism that he convinced, against her parents' wishes, to cross state lines and come live with him.
Suffering from autism. As you probably could have guessed, this didn't go well. If you have to tell the Daily Beast that, well, she did have a communication disorder, but she's totally able to consent to having a child, that's probably a firm indicator.
Garpy claimed to the Daily Beast that the young woman had a communicative disorder, but that she could consent to having a child. Her intelligence and her capacity for making decisions is actually higher probably than the average 19-year-old woman, he said. This was big news when it came out about him luring an autistic 19-year-old away from her family out of state and then promising to have babies with her and give her her own cooking show on YouTube.
That you're an asshole. The girl stated that JF planned to be a stay-at-home dad.
Garpy discussed how he would be a stay-at-home father and provide the child all the caring needs for the child, according to investigators' affidavit.
Repeat that.
Of course, this girl's family stepped in. She's a 19-year-old. I mean, technically she's an adult, but should she be making decisions like traveling multiple states to see a much older man who she met on the internet 3 weeks ago and now they're getting married?
A stay-at-home dad. Okay. During the psychological evaluation, she explained that she met JF in person by driving across state lines to see him, and she claimed that he was going to give her a cooking show. They apparently were living together for just 3 weeks, and they were engaged to be married. On top of that,
so she's 19, she's autistic, she left without telling her family, crossed straight lines, went to be with him. They were together for 3 weeks. Then they were engaged. Does this seem like maybe he's pushing this? Maybe he's taking advantage of the situation?
It was found out that JF actually tried to impregnate a girl who had the social and mental maturity age of a 10 or 11-year-old. In an actual direct quote from the...
While the case was ongoing, Garpy lost a guardianship dispute over an autistic 19-year-old whom the counselor assessed as having the social and mental maturity of a 10 or 11-year-old child. Garpy, who met the young woman online and entered into a sexual relationship with her, claimed in court that the young woman was his pregnant fiance, although blood tests revealed that she was not pregnant. So she had the mentality of a 10 or 11-year-old. So basically, it's like dealing with a 10 or 11-year-old.
In this case, it details that the girl was asked. I asked her about the possibility of being pregnant and being a mother and having to take care of a small child. She stared.
This is his own. This right here is the therapist talking to this girl. I'm going to read it. Okay. I know Nick reads it in his video too. I'm going to read it. The therapist states that had to interview this for the court. Okay. The court appointed therapist had to determine whether she needed guardianship, whether she could decide to be with JF or not, or her family, got custodialship or whatever it's called. I asked her about the possibility of being pregnant and being a mother, having to take care of a small child. She stared, was quiet, and no answer was ever given. Later, she stated that she liked animals and that she has 3 cats. I asked her if she would be able to take care of herself if something happened to a JF or if he left, and again, she had no response. Again, this is a child.
At me, quiet, and no answer was given. Later, she stated that she likes animals and had 3 cats. I asked her if she'd be able to take care of herself if something happened to JF, and again, she had no response. Obviously, her parents objected and had her brought back to her home state. This would cause the impending legal battle that would keep the girl safely away from JF.
So they ended up, her parents ended up getting some type of guardianship or some type of custodial role, something, and got her back. And that legal battle, for a while, he was still fighting to get her back. That's my fiance. We're getting married. And he called her pregnant a lot. That he was trying to fight her parents to get her back because her parents didn't know what was best for her. The people that have known her for 19 years. And he, who had known her for like 4 weeks, one of those weeks engaged to her, knew better.
I'd like to add that this girl was Hispanic, and normally it wouldn't matter, but it's also a bit telling of the guy rallying for an all-white ethno-state, don't you think? I mean, we're talking about someone who's also
Kind of weird that he's alt-right, white nationalist, wants a white ethno state, and he's dating a Hispanic 19-year-old autistic girl, but whatever.
developmentally disabled. Not quite the utopia you'd be thinking, right? Seems like an odd choice for our boy JF here. Well, now that you've heard through the sources provided,
This isn't the only scandal he's going to be in. This is just a quick background before we talk about what he fucking did today and the news that come out today.
what I believe actually happened, let's let JF tell you his side of the story, because we have to be objective, right?
But you said essentially, JF is the guy that had to have the state intervene because he was too busy fucking retards. What the fuck is that about?
So this is Mr. Madiker, and again, this is a different time on the internet. Obviously, he said fucking retards, and those are words that I use. I don't really care if you get offended by them, that just use it. But this is a different time on the internet. They were anything goes in their arguments. So the state had to intervene because he was too busy doing that. Why would anybody give him credit for anything else?
When maybe a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago, I fell in love with a woman who was mentally retarded. She had autism, and her father disagreed with her choice to live with me, to become my fiance, and to have a baby with me. So we lived together a few months, and since her father was disagreeing with our relationship, he intervened by going to what we call in the United States a ex parte probate hearing, and she had decided to start a family with me. She was found in this.
She decided to start a family with me, he says.
This proceeding that violates the United States Constitution in her absence to have no rights. And her father violently kidnapped her after and is still detaining her. And it was against her will. She was screaming. And she was just took.
Again, she may have been screaming. She may have been crying. She may have been saying, I love him. I want to stay here, blah, blah, blah. We don't let 10 or 11-year-olds make that decision. If Liam came to me tomorrow and said, I'm in love with somebody who lives down the road, I'm moving in with her, fuck you, I wouldn't let him make that decision. We don't let 10 or 11-year-olds make that decision. Just because her body is at the age of 19 doesn't mean that her mind is. She's not capable of making those decisions. And she may have been upset, right? She may have thought she was in love. She may have thought that was the best place. But that's why she has parents who have guardianship over.
Jesus, that's so sad, man. Yeah, autism, like how bad was the autism?
Jesus, Anthony.
I just think, like, imagine like, no, Dad, I'm good.
What kind of fucking question is that? Here's this heartbreaking story. So how retarded was she?
No, I'm just saying.
And JF would reply to the upcoming Daily Beast article that reported on this by saying that he's had sex with many eccentric women in his lifetime, and some of them were extremely sexy. He also admitted that some of them were only a 5 out of 10, and he believes the white heterosexual family lifestyle was the thing making everybody so triggered.
So he thinks that him being a white heterosexual male is why everybody's on his case. But here's his response. To the public space. As many of you have learned from the recent Daily Beast article, there are actions in my past that I now need to confront. I'll just be honest with all of you. I just can't hide these anymore. So I think it's better I come clean of all of this. Hence the sarcasm, right? I did make love to many women in my life. I did, and then I did it again. I did explain to these women that I was interested in having a stable family. I did explain to these women that to me, a family includes having babies. I did explain to these women that I wanted to spend a lot of time with these babies by being a stay-at-home father. I did pursue a case in the Court of Appeals with the state of North Carolina when the state of North Carolina tried to intervene with my ability to care for one of my children. The article is correct in stating that I am persistent in pursuing this appeal. I don't know why I do that. It's as if if caring for my child had become something very important to me. In short, I've lived an eccentric life trying to build a stable white family with various women. When we all know this is well outside the boundaries of today's norms and practices. Some of these women were extremely sexy. Some of them, I have to admit, were only like 5 out of 10. That's average, by the way. Like, I'm sure some of them were like 2 out of 10s. I know that the stable, white, heterosexual family lifestyle that I'm pursuing may trigger some people who have been educated in the current homonormative matriarchy. I'm sorry for anyone I've disappointed or triggered. It's just in my nature, though, so I'll keep doing exactly that. Again, doesn't admit that her mentality was like a 10 or 11-year-old. Instead, is like, oh, I'm white, heterosexual. That's what triggers you, right? Is snowflakes.
What? Are you expecting me to be joking? I'm not. JF is someone who often conveys how he's on a higher plane of existence than us mere mortals. On the intellectual spectrum, he's over here, and us mental midgets, yeah, we're over there.
I'm 34. I'm a PhD in neuroscience. I do brain surgery.
That coming from the man who apparently claimed his work.
I'm a PhD in neuroscience. I do brain surgery. Oh no, toilet. Garpy said he could deliver the child at home and raise it because of his experience working with monkeys in research labs. This was literally a message that he sent to this girl that he could deliver that child at home and raise it because he has experience working with monkeys in research labs.
With monkeys in research labs would make him a good dad of a human child. It's important to note that since this information had surfaced, JF claims the court documents were actually false, which he really hasn't elaborated on much either.
This is a tweet. He didn't put much into it. This is Stefan Molyneux, who was also around race realism stuff. He does a lot of different videos, but Stefan Molyneux says,
Paul_Uke66 just resubscribed for 6 months.
Thank you,
Hey,
Paula UK.
Hey, chat. Hi, Will. Hi, Will.
Hey. Stefan Molyneux says, isn't that the guy who got an autistic girl pregnant when she was a mental age of 12 or so? So he makes this snarky comment. Says, Stefan, an empiricist. Also, Stefan, males are targeted falsely in courts. Also, Stefan, I'm a libertarian rationalist. Also, Stefan, the media lies. Also, Stefan believes the media irrationally based on a quote from false court documents without factual basis. All of these documents from the court, he's never elaborated on how they're false. They're all requested from the court. It's not like someone edited them and sent a Xerox to all these papers. Like, they all individually verified these were the court documents through FOIA requests.
And apparently also he's come out and defended himself by saying that he has some form of autism too, but I find it a little different when you're talking about someone who has the mental age of 9 or 10 and somebody who has operated brain surgery on monkeys.
So he claims that he's autistic too, and that's what made it okay at one point. That was another one of his excuses, I guess.
Jeff, for the record, the girl that had the low IQ that you banged and fell in love with and everything, how low was it?
I mean, she was brilliant in certain ways. I think
I bet he did the sprinkler in a mirror when he proofread that to
maybe
himself.
one of the only persons who accessed her mind, and there was something really brilliant inside of her, but she...
So he was the only person that could access her mind, and there was something really brilliant in there, much more brilliant than a 19-year-old, but he was the only person who could get to it.
Was very close, and she was very delayed in her answers, and for most people in our society, they kind of push you for the answer, and she was always pushed by people around her, so she was considered retarded by her family.
You fucking sounds, dude. This is fucking forced up over here. She was very close.
To be fair, it's hard not to laugh at that. Like, I was the only person who could reach her. She was very brilliant, but technically by her family, the state, the court, the therapist, the health worker, her doctors, and insurance provider, she was retarded. And you were trying to impregnate her and convinced her to cross state lines to come live with you.
At first, but then I pried her mouth open and got answers out of her. I went down on her like the syndrome.
Well, to explain our next segment in the story
Oh, I went down on her like the syndrome, he said.
Of JF, I have to give the brief backstory of a supporting character. Emily Yukis is a pistachio girl for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay, do you guys remember when this girl went viral? She is the singing pistachio vendor, Emily Yukis. So she had a couple little viral videos because she was wild about pistachios and shit at this ballpark and whatever. Turns out she's like a mega racist, Holocaust denier, race realist person, so. Do you ban people while they put in links? How could I possibly know that you were typing in a link to ban you?
We're gonna make the Phillies great again, baby. We're gonna make the Phillies great again.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, this broadcast is about to take a hard right turn. Long story short, Emily had been fired from her job in 2016 after some choice tweets were made public, such as, what's more important, selling nuts for a couple more years or saving the white race from extinction?
I merely point out the facts that Jews dominate the media, the banking system. Facts don't equate to anti-Semitism.
She has been dubbed the pistachio supremacist, and somehow, by an act of God, Emily ended up in a brief co-host role on JF's show, The Public Space. Before JF would publicly denounce her for using racial slurs on his show titled Re-Educating Emily About YouTube's Terms, which was essentially just 1 hour and 27 minutes of embarrassing her in front of the entire audience, gems like this were captured.
Like, I will not jeopardize your YouTube channel in any way, but I do think we need to nuke Africa and cut off the aid there and stop the food aid, and I don't think that.
So he did like a 3-hour stream with her while she just said shit like, we need to nuke Africa, we need to get rid of the black people, we need a white ethno state, all those kinds of things.
Genocide. I think that's just called letting nature run its course.
Look at his face. She has a better plan than me. Yes.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, you are very wise to be stopping right there.
Which isn't completely relevant to the subject of today's video. However, honestly, it's too funny not to include.
Oh, you know, I'm always a little mad, but like I said, this show has been really like, I feel the hate being like siphoned out of my brain, and I just want to have love speech from now on. I love black people, and I love old people, and I love all the migrants, so.
All right.
Now back to the many eccentric women of JF's history. We're starting to
So then she come back in a sarcastic role where she loves everybody. She doesn't hate anybody. Obviously, the sarcasm was thick.
Give up hope here. That's 3 terrible experiences. I believe by now he's lost custody of the first child.
Alt-right YouTuber accused of luring autistic teen in pregnancy plot. Again, a Canadian immigrant who makes white nationalist videos with Richard Spencer is accused of trying to impregnate an autistic Hispanic teen. What if I told you it could get even worse? What if I told you it could get even worse? What if I told you that his YouTube channel was funded from seed money from a well-known pedophile island owner?
And his other 2 attempts were a bust. What's next for our hero?
We have a question from Mama JF coming on the super chat.
All right, so I want you to pay attention to this woman here. I might even slow it down because she's hard to understand. This is the woman known as Mama JF, okay? This is not the 19-year-old. This is not his former wife. This is not the one he has a kid with. This is his newest and most recent partner, Mama JF. Mama JF is what everybody knows her as on his show. He's JF. That's Mama JF.
K Max McDonald says, Mama Jeff, what is your background? What country do you derive your ethnic heritage from?
I can't answer that. Before I had a bad life, but then after I discovered GF, then I started to look at GF every day. I was always looking at GF. I became crazy. I lost everything I had. I lost my job, my family. I quit school. I lost everything. I was just looking at GF all the time. I was crazy. And then after I wrote to him, I said, GF, I want to suck your dick.
So basically what she just said is she can't answer that because she left her whole life behind, her family, her job, everything. She left everything behind. All because she left all of that because she wanted to suck JF's dick. I guess. So I guess that's a synopsis.
JF has a brand new girlfriend, and as you can probably tell, we're already running into some more issues here. She just stated for the record that she went crazy. She lost everything she had. She lost her job. She lost her family. She quit school, and she just really wanted to suck his dick.
You lost your job because you were addicted.
I lost everything.
You lost everything because you were addicted to my shows.
I was just looking at your...
You got me. Hilarious.
all the time, even...
Thank God we're not limited to listen to the comedians in chat. Oh, fucking retard.
I had a job, and I was going to hide in the bathroom to listen to your show, and then my boss said, why you always disappeared for 10 minutes? Then he fired me. I lost everything, my family, my friends, everything, because I was just looking at GF show all the time.
So she became obsessed with watching him and wanting to suck his dick. She became obsessed over that and then decided that she would leave everything in her former life behind to come join him.
You've never told me that.
Wonderful first time to hear it. Okay, maybe this was just another isolated event. Maybe there's a sufficient explanation for this one. Well, in this clip you're seeing on screen now, JF's girlfriend is yelling at another content creator called No White Guilt about a
No white guilt. That's a random name for someone who doesn't involve race in his theories, right? He's probably just a normal, what is he, gaming streamer? He's probably plays the Fortnite, right? No white guilt.
Apparently, who JF describes as someone who looks like him who tried to hurt her, even though she blatantly called him out by name. That's a little fucking weird, don't you think?
I had to mute.
I think it's more about, so the more you watch him and the more you watch him debate or the more you watch him discuss a topic, I think it's more like he's looking for people with deficiencies because he knows how to manipulate those deficiencies. It does sound like an Xbox lobby, doesn't it, Bug Dude?
To Mama Jeff because she was telling some mean things about No White Guilt. I apologize. She has an actual issue.
I need to.
Don't say anything violent.
No, I won't.
What do you have to say?
No, I get seriously. You tried to kill me, okay? And I'm fucking sick that you're fucking me with me. You always follow me everywhere. And
all right.
You always follow me everywhere. You tried to kill me again. I'm fucking sick of you being around. Like some type of meltdown she's having here. And who knows who the fuck she's talking about.
And you say you want to make spiritual movement, but you fucking tried to kill me for 3 years again.
And there are some more random outbursts like this one.
Hello, Mama Jeff. What's up?
Hey, Jeff, I saw in the chat the Little Mermaid is now black.
The Little Mermaid is now black.
Yes.
Again, the topics that matter to America.
Oh yeah, so it's hashtag not my Ariel.
And this one.
Because I was tired of Jeff and I locked him up in the basement. So now I took control of the public space. I control the public space, okay? So now we're gonna do something.
I think I had a Darth Maul seizure one time. It's wild.
A little bit different, okay? Get on your knees and pray. Do it right now. Now we're gonna do only praying. Okay.
She locked him in the basement and told him to get on his knees and pray. I don't know what her speech impediment is. The first time I ever saw her on stream, back when I actually used to watch these debaters and stuff going on, I was never a JF fan. I can't stand his "so I'm so much smarter than you" kind of mentality. But I thought she was drunk the few times I saw her. But then I started seeing her more and more. It's some type of speech impediment. Plus, she has no fucking filter. Everything just comes out.
Space! Jeff is in the basement! Yes! Hey, Jeff, you go to the basement!
That really call into question if this situation is, well, okay. And I would say it definitely appears JF has a type. And somehow...
Exactly. It definitely appears like he has a type of people with some type of deficiencies that he can manipulate.
Now, it actually doesn't end here. In a Montreal local news station, they had actually reported on some crazy graffiti that appeared on the walls. Some of them include...
This right here is just wild. So local Montreal news station, he lives in Canada. Local Montreal news station starts reporting on some graffiti that mentions like Andy Worski and JF in the town where he lives. Weird. I wonder if there's security cam footage of that event.
Included 1488 with a little heart next to it.
1488. 1488 is the 14 words and 88's Hell Hitler. We went over that before, right? That's like a white nationalist thing they do to fucking signify who they are. So 1488 with hearts. Then Hell Worski, which was another streamer that we just saw him on with the one that said, well, how bad was her autism? That was Worski. And what else was there?
He signed a Save Richard Spencer and JF.
Save the well-known white nationalist Richard Spencer. Most people know Richard Spencer, right? Speaking of, there's not much that Richard Spencer, the neo-Nazi, anti-Semitic, white nationalist, or white supremacist, I would assume, that could throw him off his game, but JF even does that. Then it says Jeff Garpy, king of the world. Smiley faced heart, a flower, I guess.
Jeff Garpy, king of the world. Now, wait a second. I know what you're thinking. There is no way. There's no way I'm transitioning this. There's no way it is who you think it is. Is it? Well, the security footage really does do.
She looks familiar, no?
A great job of making it look like that. And just when you think this story can't possibly go off the rails any more than it already has, here's a clip that I'd like to show you. It's a great clip, probably one of the most perfect clips I've ever seen. On the left side, you see Richard.
So in this clip, you have him talking to Richard Spencer, and they're talking back and forth. This happened in 2019. This is some leaked audio that came out. Some leaked audio that came out around, I think it was around the Charlottesville thing, right? I think this came out, this was supposedly around the Charlottesville thing. And it leaked in 2019, but it was from back in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. This Richard Spencer. So just so you know who Richard Spencer is, he's not a very good guy.
Spencer. And on the right, JF, who's about to make an outrageous statement. Pay very close attention.
Did you watch my yesterday show?
That was him. He basically says, like, we're going to fucking ritualistically humiliate them. Talking about Charlottesville. I'm coming back here every fucking weekend if I have to. We're going to destroy this fucking town. These fucking, and then he uses slurs for like black people, for Jewish people, for basically every slur you can think of, screaming about Charlottesville.
Richard?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Okay, because I announced that
Now listen to this statement closely.
Just for transparency, because I was talking about a news item about Jeff Epstein, and I announced that yes, God. Jeff Epstein has once contributed to the start of my YouTube channel with
Jeffrey Epstein contributed to the start of his YouTube channel.
a $25,000 check, and that
a small loan or a small deposit of $25,000 when he started his YouTube channel from Jeffrey Epstein, the Jeffrey Epstein.
Since then, my YouTube channel has kind of taken a different direction, and people were scandalized. They were like, JF is an agent of a Jewish millionaire rapist. And as I
He's that person. You were joking, I presume.
No, I'm not joking. This is real.
Jimmy Savile is fucking wild. I've seen a lot of stuff on Jimmy Savile. You know that some of the stuff that's coming out about, damn, what's his name? Russell Brand has to do with Jimmy Savile. And talking about picking up girls and bringing them over and like, you'll like this one or some shit. Like, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, you heard that right. JF, the man who tried to impregnate a 19-year-old.
So he says, you're joking, right? And he says, no, he gave me $25,000.
Taken a different direction, and people were scandalized.
Look at Richard Spencer's reaction. The alt-right, neo-Nazi, white supremacist piece of shit Richard Spencer is even like, what the fuck? Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey fucking Epstein started your channel? What the fuck is going on?
They were like, JF is an agent of a Jewish millionaire rapist. And as
He's that person. You were joking, I presume.
No, I'm not joking.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
So it begs the question of like, could he be lying? Absolutely. Could he be lying? Absolutely. Was he lying? Why would he lie? I have no fucking idea. I can't see his face. That banner is in front of it. The fuck are you talking about? His face is the whole left side of the screen.
Millionaire rapist. And as I
He's
indicated,
that person. You were joking, I presume.
No, I'm not joking. This is real.
Yeah, you heard that.
So I'm not saying that Russell Brand and Jimmy Savile were like the same person or whatever, but apparently there was communication between the two about like he was like they knew each other and hung out when he first started his career, blah blah blah, and he would bring girls that Jimmy would like and stuff like that. Not even saying they fucked or whatever, just they were hot girls, I guess.
That right. JF, the man who tried to impregnate a 19-year-old girl with a disability, has ties to Jeffrey Epstein and has taken a sizable $25,000 donation from him. What does this mean? Well, probably nothing, to be honest. But I do think it's worth noting that Richard...
I had to connect it. Then on that, I don't even know what banner is it.
Spencer has this reaction to hearing JF explain himself.
JF is an agent of a Jewish millionaire rapist. And as I
He's
indicated,
that person. You were joking, I presume.
No, I'm not joking. This is real. Jeff Epstein was a founder to one of my nonprofits in the US with a $25,000 check in 2015, I believe.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
This is the Jeffrey Epstein who has like a pedophile island.
Yes, the Jeffrey Epstein.
Or something. And
Yeah.
Clinton.
Well, at the time, he had not been found guilty, I believe, of this.
It's almost too much for Richard.
I win! Big fucking move! That's how the world fucking works! Little fucking kites!
Spencer, this is just what JF claimed.
They're all fucking K-word slur for Jewish people. That was Richard Spencer, and he still has this reaction to JF.
But why the fuck would Jeffrey Epstein donate to him?
Yeah, if he is lying, there's no positive in that, right? Like, he's not going to get any positive attention, and his fan base hates Jews. They, obviously, I would hope they hate pedophiles. Like, it doesn't even get, I don't know why he would lie about that if it's not true.
That just seems crazy, right? I guess it's possible maybe he's lying, but I don't know why he would lie about that.
What is it a banner for, B-Dolls? What does it say?
Especially with all the stream deleting he had to do when people started looking for that information.
I understand, like, other people know what she's talking about, but somebody's got to explain it to me because I have no idea.
Recently. But either way, I'd say Jean-Francis Garpy is beyond parody. If you liked the video, please remember to hit the subscribe button and let me know down below if you want a deep dive into JF or any other creator. Thank you very much.
I make a living out of YouTube streaming. I talk about race and other subjects like this.
Really?
Yep. Do you know David Duke?
David Duke? No, I do not.
Oh, I see something that says you didn't make the game. Try next time. What game is that? What the fuck? Is that from an extension? Oh, is that the broken trivia extension? That's not even working? Probably.
Yeah. KKK.
So that's who
Ever heard
JF
of the group?
is.
Oh yeah, my state was run by the KKK for a while.
Nice.
Hey, Nicholas the Oreo, we in this?
Yeah, you can exit out of it yourself, but I just did it, I guess so. It stopped popping up in my chat. So that's who JF is, okay? He's not a good guy. He's an alt-right white nationalist who advocates for a white ethno-state in the U.S. He's from Canada. He's lured a autistic 19-year-old with the mentality of a 10 or 11 or 12-year-old across state lines, trying to impregnate and marry her. The family had to take her back. He finds this Mrs. JF, and they, I guess, have a relationship in Canada. Then we get this tweet. Okay, now I don't know if you're ready for this tweet, but we get this tweet from JF himself. That was just the background. We're not even to the murder case yet. JF tweets out today, the police in Canada is looking for Mama JF. Now, you remember Mama JF is his girlfriend or whatever. The police in Canada is looking for Mama JF, because in true Mama JF fashion, she left our home in June and has disappeared from the map. I'm sure that Mama JF is fine. I know she has been safe for at least 2 days after I dropped her where she wanted in June. Mama JF left our home entirely voluntarily to go live a life of adventure wherever it would bring her. But since she has electronically disappeared, not connecting to her cell phone or updating me or her family. If I ask anyone who would have encountered her to just notify the police so that they can know she is safe, and I ask her if she wants to leave a note to the police, me, or her family to ensure everyone of her safety. If you want to send an encrypted tip anonymously, I can receive them at jfgarpy@proton.me. Then someone says, so you were the last known person to see her since June? No, she's been traveling and leaving an electronic trace for a long time. The answer here is yes. What he's saying is like, oh, she's been traveling, so her cell phone's been moving around. They could probably trace that. But you were the last person to see her alive in June. In June. So as if this didn't look bad enough, then the BBC picks it up. And it says PEI, which is Prince Edward Island, RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, put out a call for info on woman missing since June 17th. Alora Patone, 30, has ties to both Western Prince Edward Island and the province of Quebec. RCMP on PEI have put out a call for information on a woman who was last seen in mid-June after receiving a call from someone they described as a concerned citizen. Not JF, not her family, not him, not a concerned citizen called. Last known sighting of Alora Patone, Patillon, I don't know, it's probably French, was on June 17th in Borden, Carleton, the village that's home to PEI, end of the Confederation Bridge linking the province to New Brunswick. Patone is 30 years old. She is 5 foot 10 inches and weighs 140 pounds and has brown curly hair. She speaks both French and English. RCMP Corporal Gavin Moore says the investigation began this weekend when police got a call expressing worry about Patone. This is a high priority, he said. We make efforts to follow up on all known contacts to that individual. We reach out to make sure that anybody who may come across them will let us know. He expects police will be conducting interviews and checking thoroughly any available surveillance video as they search for Patone. Moore said Patone has links to both Prince Edward Island and Quebec, and her last known address was in Western Prince Edward Island with JF. When someone goes missing, it has deep and far-reaching impacts for the person and those that know them, said a post on the Facebook page maintained by the RCMP. We ask that people spread the word through the social media respectfully. Both Prince District RCMP and the Force's Major Crime Unit are investigating. Anyone with information on Patone is being asked to call Prince District RCMP at 902-436-9300. Information can also be shared anonymously through Crime Stoppers. Don't share anonymously through JF. That sounds sketch as fuck, like he's trying to get rid of tips. Share anonymously through Crime Stoppers. 1-800-222-TIPS. 1-800-222-TIPS. So, this is her, right? This is Mama JF. And there are people saying like, hey, clearly you're going to be a suspect in that. Who is always the number one suspect? Who is always the number one suspect? It's always a love interest, right? Someone that lives with them, someone that's close to them, husband, boyfriend, something. He is outright refusing and saying that there's no way he's a suspect because he's been working with the police so well. Even though he didn't contact them and say she was missing. Even though he doesn't like to talk to the police. Even though he says he doesn't want her found because he liberated her. And it's within her liberty to go off and disappear. It's her choice. He doesn't want to work with police, but he's been working so well with. So as if all this wasn't bad enough. As if all this wasn't bad enough. This tweet is from that tweet that we just did was from 9 hours ago. Someone says this tweet is a mass appeal to people who follow him on Twitter. He does a live stream called The Cost of Liberty. Indeed, they said this N-word, personal life is insane. Indeed, not by my choice, though. I love life, rather relaxed personally. I believe in due process. Call me old-fashioned. No worries. My whole life is electronically recorded. My home is covered in cameras. My every movement tracked. Don't let the trolls convince you of a narrative. Follow the professionals of the police force who know what they're doing. Again, denying he has anything to do with it. It's amazing. I've never seen any of them in the chat, but they seem to know everything about Mama JF. Thanks for sharing this video with us. Very interesting to see the feminist types responding with misandric blame for you, but completely ignoring the female liberty and empowerment Mama JF is apparently embracing. Of course, it's all about female liberty and empowerment. Then he says, CSI, Internet Investigative Unit, revenge of the 110 IQ, of course, because he's so much smarter than everybody. He says, locationism, the false modern leftist idea that you are entitled to know where people are. Responding to someone says, what resources have you put into locating her? You need to do so ASAP to clear your name. I'd be phoning every person she knew, driving to every family member's house, and like, if this was about to fall on my head and Mariah really did run off to join like a hippie convent or something and dance in the fucking meadow in the rain or some shit, like, I'd be tracking her ass down and be like, you got to tell people you're alive. People are absolutely going to know I killed you. I think I killed you. I'm sorry. Misspoke there. Missing flyers at every business she frequented? 1,000%. But no, he's pretty laid back. Here you go. Here's the live stream. The Cost of Liberty. I gotta warn you, this live stream is fucking wild, dude. This is like the shit. Like, you know when criminals are so brazen, they go on like a news, a news segment to like cry and be like, please bring her back. And they really got her chopped up in their fucking basement. Like that crazy bitch. Did you guys see that crazy bitch that had sex with that dude and killed him during sex, then continued to use toys on him and herself for several hours, drain all his blood, remove all his organs, put his head in a bucket, chop up his body, after she bathed in his blood, she poured it down the drain. Like that crazy bitch. She's fucking wild, dude. What was her name? Taylor Shabusiness or something like that. Is that right? Or is this something else? Taylor Shabusiness sentencing. That girl's wild, dude. Anyways, like this guy should be trying to clear his name and he's not at all.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jeff G tonight. No news tonight. I just want to talk about something personal that I'm forced to talk about at this point. It's I've been wanting to keep it relatively calmer and less public, but I've been forced by the various events because people have discovered about it, and so I might as well talk about it instead of letting rumors develop and all of the messy information that can stem from it. So yeah, it's the disappearance of Mama JF. Mama JF has been disappearing in the sense of not leaving any contact, not leaving information about where she was. And I titled my episode,
I wish I was on mushrooms at the time. This would be a lot more interesting.
Cost of Liberty, because I didn't want any of this. I'm just a family guy, and I've always been wanting to provide and secure for people around me. But there is one thing I cannot do in our society. I cannot stop you from doing crazy stuff. I cannot stop you from exposing yourself to risks when you say the words.
So he's out here. He's just this freedom fighter for everybody's freedom.
I want to do it. When you claim your own liberty, you are on your own, and I cannot do anything to protect you. And so that I don't know if Mama JF is in danger.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. The Lucy, I don't know how to say her name, but I've seen it on TikTok and people talking about it. For some reason, it just came back up. Is a trial going on, or was a trial going on, or something about it? They're going out to the hospital for corporate murder. I saw people talking about it. I didn't know why. I didn't know if it was older and now it's a case or what the fuck happened. But it's viral right now.
Danger. I don't know where she is, but
she's not in danger. I don't know where she is.
At this point, I'm forced to talk about it because people are spreading rumors on the internet. Because I'll just.
Is it Letby or is it Letby? Is it Letby? Lucy Letby? I can't even remember how they said it in the videos. I was actually going to send it to Mariah. I don't think I ever did.
Give you my
something at Mariah's alley.
My perspective on all of this. And, okay. And people are accusing me of murder on the.
Now his basic accounting of this is one day she said, "I want to go be free and wild and live a life away from everybody by myself." And he said, "Okay, sure. Just promise me you'll stay in contact with me." And she says, "Okay, I can do that. I can do that." She disappears. He takes her to a gas station and videos himself, according to him, dropping her off for the rest of her life in solitude in nature. As basically he describes it, she wants to live the life of like a homeless person, like a vagabond or some shit, right? And he videotapes her, says, "Hey, bye." She kept up with him for 2 days, and then she messaged him and says, "I'm not going to be able to keep my promise. I will not be staying in contact with you," and nobody ever hears from her again, ever. That was 2 days after mid-June.
Internet, it's like, you guys don't know. You guys don't know the police. I've been speaking with the feds on an everyday basis.
Speaking with the feds every day? Okay. I could see, maybe you're not a suspect and you could still speak with you're right, you were who she was living with. Maybe you're not a suspect. Let's keep adding these up. So 1, speaks with the feds every day. Speaks with the federal government agents every day. That's 1.
For a couple of days now, for maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple of days. For a couple of days, I've been speaking to the police.
Didn't report her missing. 2.
On a regular basis. So it all stems from Mama JF, you guys know, and I've stated it publicly. In June, she left.
I want somebody to convince me that he doesn't have some type of negative impact. I'm not saying he killed her, but somebody make this story make sense, because it doesn't to me.
She didn't want. It's not even clear why she left, and she's done it in the past. You guys have seen it.
It's not even clear why she left. She just left.
To have been following the show for years.
It was also after a big fight they had.
Years. She wanted to go away. So that's all we often know with Mama JF. She wants to go away. She had done it once and had come back.
That was also after a big fight she had. I think she went back to her parents' house or something.
To us weeks after. And you remember, she came on the show on the day she came back. And she said something along the lines of, well, I thought you didn't want to be with me anymore.
Upchurch has already solved half the case. It's all a Ponzi scheme to make the Illuminati Walmart prison investors into lizard people.
And so, and I said to her, no, you left of your own will. But she says yes, and then she says yes, but I thought you wanted me to leave. That left of your weeks after, and you remember she came on the show on the day she came back, and she said something along the lines of, well, I thought you didn't want to be with me anymore.
So she left for weeks and came back on the show and said, well, you didn't want me here anymore. And he's like, no. Gaslighting, right? Rewriting history, how it actually went. No. What actually happened is you left your own free will, right? Remember? You left your own free will. And she's like, I thought you didn't want me here. No. What happened was you left your own free will, right? And so 99% of the times, gaslighting is not real. People just use it as a crutch when they don't like what you got to say. But when you're actually rewriting history for somebody else, you're 100% gaslighting.
And I said to her, no, you left of your own will. But she says yes, and then she says yes, but I thought you wanted me to leave. That is sometimes the state of delusion in female minds, and I can't do anything about this. I have zero control over.
Because Tablet, he took all the precautions to bury her deep enough to where scavenger animals wouldn't bother her.
It is. If we were in the Christian society of 1920, maybe I could file some report and say, hey, my wife is a little crazy. She's a little out there.
No, it doesn't have to be in 1920. When she broke contact, when she promised you, your wife, when she promised you she would stay in contact with you, and then she promised you that, according to you, and then 48 hours later, you get a text, not even her voice. Anybody could have been texting you from her phone that says, hey, I'm never going to contact you again. Bye. That might have been a time to be like, hey, I'm not trying to raise any red flags or whatever. My wife wanted to leave. She wanted to go be a mountain gypsy, but she told me she was going to stay in contact with me. And now suddenly, but instead, months later, a concerned citizen has to report that she's not around. Probably one of your fucking neighbors.
Can I control? Can I own her, basically? And I'm sure that there were. Basically, you didn't have to file that paper in 1920s because in the 1920s, this was.
So he's trying to make this like a feminist. Women have the right to disappear if they want, right? If men have the right to murder their wives can disappear for surely.
Called marriage. But we are not in the 1920s, and we are in 2023 where...
Thank you, Dr. J. I
we
appreciate
have
that.
an
Hey, what's up, Vern?
experiment going on in society. What happens when you let these females do whatever the fuck they want? Well, what
happens... This is worst case scenario. What happens when you let women do what they want? That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to empower my wife into her goals.
Is that they sometimes make bad decisions. So in June she left, and And 2 days after leaving, so she left and she had a whole plan. She had bought camping material. She was on her way to some sort of
camping material, duct tape, blindfold, good heavy duty rope and chains, shovel, bleach, camping materials.
Survivalist trip. From what I understood, it looked like she was preparing for life in the wild.
So he didn't even ask her where she was going. He just noticed that she was buying camping materials, and he assumed she's preparing for life in the wild.
Promised me when she left.
That's why I did his whole background. Like, his whole background has been finding women with some type of deficiency and manipulating and controlling them So I don't. If you look at it in a vacuum, yeah, maybe, but I don't think we can here.
That she would always be reachable, and that I would be able to reach her to deal with all of the official.
He didn't report anything. A concerned citizen contacted the cops. Now he claims we have no way to validate this right now. We have no way to validate this right now. He claims that he was in contact with her family the whole time, and they're like, "Well, that's just Mama JF. She's always been a free spirit, you know." And they weren't concerned either. They even claimed that part of her family has a contact with a federal agent, and they called him and is like, should we even report this? He's like, nah.
Papers, you know, that she owns a lot of stuff, and sometimes I need her signature. And I was like, and although, you know, we do have legal remedies for this.
So the reason he wanted to stay in contact was because they own stuff together, and he might need her signature. They're married. He might need her signature. If she's going to go be a mountain gypsy, yeah, I might need your signature, so you better keep texting me. But sadly, after 48 hours, just said she couldn't with a shovel and 20 pounds of lava.
I was like, if you totally disappear, you might put me in trouble on some bills, on some, you know, getting utilities and everything. So she promised to me that she wouldn't fully disappear.
But she broke that promise 48 hours after, and you did nothing. Thank you for the 5 bits.
And she went away. And 2 days later, she
went away. Oh, she went away forever.
Talked to me on the phone and sent a message.
So first he says, talk to me on the phone, but then it's a text message. The text message is very weird. If Mariah told me that she was going anywhere and this was her plan of contact, like I'll contact you when I get there, I'll contact you on my way home, let you know I'm on my way home and safe. And then immediately after she leaves, she's like, by the way, I'm never contacting you again, through a text message. You wouldn't find that suspicious? Like, what if somebody stole her phone? What if it wasn't fucking her? What if, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's a text message came through.
But by the way, everything I tell you is things I have told to the police. So it's not, there's no secret coming out that you guys are hearing. It might be secret from a public perspective, but it's all things that the feds have been knowing for a couple of days.
The feds have been knowing for a couple, it could have been a couple of months, but he didn't report it.
So the last message that she sends me in June, 2 days after leaving, and it had been apparent, I think I may have been in contact for a couple of times during these 2 days, so I was sure that she was progressing through whatever trip she wanted to do. I knew that she was still alive. But 2 days...
Wait. Why would you say something like that? I knew she was still... Have you given up hope already? Do you know something we don't know? Yes, she left her family, her friends, her school, her career, everything she owned behind to come suck his dick. And then 3 years later, she wants to be a mountain person. Well, 2 days. I was sure she was alive then.
After leaving, she says, I have changed my plans. I will not hold my promise toward you. I will not be reachable. And it's like, okay. She says, I have a new plan. And
so she texts him and says, look, I know we both civilly and calmly agreed without any arguments because, you know, we've never had an argument and none of those arguments we never had have ever turned physical. And I know we had a clear and well thought out plan where I would contact you at least daily and remain in contact, but I have changed my plan and I, of my own cognizance, have made a new plan fully within my own rights and freedoms to never contact you again, and I would never imply that you had anything to do with my disappearance. Okay, bye.
I'm like, does your new plan involve any sort of attack against me or the family?
Why? What? Imagine Mariah. Mariah's my wife, right? Imagine Mariah's my wife, And she says, hey, I'm leaving you. I'm going to live in the woods with a bunch of, by myself or with a bunch of hippies or whoever I find. It's going to be a journey. And by the way, I'm never contacting you again. I don't know. I would assume my first response is not going to be, oh, so you're going to defame me, right? You're going to come out against me and you're going to say a bunch of weird shit about me while you're living in your fucking fairy tale woodland and talk shit, right? What he said. I asked if it would be defamatory or come out against me. Just remember, he's smarter than you. He's untouchable.
And I'm like, does your new plan involve any sort of attack against me or the family?
Because or the family. Any attack against me or the family?
Know how important that is to me.
How important that is to me.
She says, you don't have to be worried. My new plan does not involve you. I'm just going to change cell phone. Now, I knew that.
I'm just going to change my cell phone.
She had.
We're going to find out the police are watching every one of these fucking shows. Every fucking tweet that comes out. Every fucking post. Why? Because here in a second, he's going to say he's not a suspect, but there's a van of federal agents outside his house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
The left without any sort of electronic tracking. You know how the police can track you with your credit card, with your debit card. She had left with nothing but her phone. So when she said that...
Oh, shit. Thank you very much. Mostly Peaceful Redhead. 1,200 bits. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Hey, guys. 1,000. Hey, guys, 100. Hey, guys, 100. Thank you. The 5 bits said, how are you? I'm good. Thank you for the 5 bits. Thank you, Mostly Peaceful Redhead. So she didn't take her credit card. She didn't take anything with her that she could be tracked with but this one cell phone. And then conveniently, 48 hours after she left, she said, I'm getting rid of this too. The only thing that you could fucking track her with was her cell phone. And then 48 hours after she left, she said, I'm getting rid of this too. The only piece of anything that I brought that you could fucking track me with.
To me, through text, I concluded, okay, she's going off grid. You know, she's going full survivalism.
Something funny? I took that as she's turning into Mama Bear Grylls. She's going to hollow out a camel and sleep in it tonight.
And kind of...
Tell me this doesn't make him look worse. What is happening? Thank you, Will. Hashtag same team. That's right. Always.
In her fashion. I mean, that's the way Mama JF is. So changing her phone to me.
You know me, I've always said redheaded hoes before all the other hoes. And there's something about bros in there too.
It meant I'm dropping potentially my own identity behind. I'm potentially disappearing in nature. I'm potentially, she could be anywhere from there. And that's what I was explaining to the police. You know, Mama JF, you remember the story she told on her video on YouTube where she talked about crossing the border in Spain and in the enclaves of Spain in North Africa. Mama JF is a fucking extreme, like 007 level of like fugitive mentality.
So because she had a YouTube video one time about her crossing a border illegally in Europe, she is a 007 mentality fugitive. What? No, bros, just hoes. Maybe that was it. He says 007 because he's a fucking freak. But she's a 007 level fugitive mentality?
In Spain and in the enclaves of Spain and North Africa. Mama JF is a fucking extreme, like 007 level of like fugitive mentality.
Got it.
And I was kind of telling that to the police jokingly, half jokingly, but it's like she's a professional fugitive who doesn't commit crimes. So.
To be fair, she's a professional fugitive who doesn't commit crimes. 007 level professional fugitive that doesn't commit crimes. To be fair, I don't actually have any. I don't have fucking friends in real life. You guys are it. And to be fair, it's more of like a parasitic relationship. So there you go. You got me cornered now.
It's like she's gonna be hiding from you as hard as she can.
So he warns the cops she's going to be hiding from you as hard as she can, even though she doesn't commit crimes, well, except for that graffiti that she painted for me. Even though she's going to be hiding from you guys. You'll probably never find her.
While also not having anything to reproach to herself. But that's just how she is. So, I mean, she and so from there, I'm like, I'm going to drop myself behind. I'm going to disappear. You're not going to be able to reach me. So that is what I've.
So I'm going to drop my cell. I'm going to hide. You won't be able to reach me, is what he thinks is going on through her head. Because she's a 007 level fugitive mentality.
Been knowing since June. And of course, you're faced with the big, should I call the police? This is a willing woman, a willing adult woman doing her willing stuff. So I've not called the police. Because in my view, there was no evidence of criminality. There was no evidence of distress. It looked like...
a missing person isn't a criminal.
To me, someone who has decided to go survivalism. Will I report someone for being survivalist? I mean, this reminds me of the Facebook post. You know, as one of your loved ones gone to survivalism, as one of your loved one bought too much camping material, that is literally one of the Facebook book posts. But I don't want to be in the society where buying camping material gets you reported to the feds.
I don't think there's any camping. I don't think there's any society where normal camping material gets you reported to the feds.
And I am bound to Mama JF's interest because I've loved her and I still love her and I still consider, I consider myself allied to her forever. Forever, no matter what she does, even if she goes out.
I'm going to speed it up some just because it's a longer video, but if it gets too hard to understand his accent, I'll either translate or we'll slow it back down maybe.
They're getting other boyfriends. I consider myself tied to her forever.
I don't care if she's out there getting other boyfriends. I'm tied to her forever.
So at this point, I'm in front of this information. And I've decided that this was not warranting a call.
He should have never made this stream. If he was going to do anything, he should have said, like, even if he's innocent, he should have never made this stream. He's making statements here that are statements of fact. Just like Phil keeps getting himself in trouble in court. Every time he comes on and does a live stream, he's making statements of fact that he can be held to later, even if he's innocent. What if he's misremembering? What if something changes and it looks fucking shady as hell? It already looks shady as hell. Why are you making this fucking stream, bro? Just stop talking. Stop talking.
To the police in June. And I've spoken to her family and they thought similarly, you know, this is Mama JF. She is an out there woman and it's not the first time she does this. In the absence of any evidence of harm or that she's doing something evil to someone else, that there's no reason to call the police. And in fact, we even had someone in the family talked loosely to a federal investigator.
Here you go. Someone in her family just happens to be friends loosely with a federal investigator. Of course.
Who was friends with us and just asking, you know, what is this? Is this a disappearance or is this just a woman? Just a woman doing whatever she wants. And the investigator had actually, I mean, from what I heard, this is not in.
Is this just a normal woman thing? I know you guys have your time of the month, whatever the fuck that is. All I know is it's more likely to attract sharks and or bear. They can smell that shit from miles away. But do you guys usually go romping through the woods to join like a commune, a one-person commune, and throw away all of your entire life and any way that you would buy food or clothing or survive, including your cell phone? Maybe. Comes with the tampons, I guess.
Interaction that I had myself.
The old tampons.
But someone who was worried in the family spoke to an investigator and said, look, those are the facts. It's a woman. She leaves like this. She wanted to leave. She gets herself equipped with camping material and all. Is this a disappearance? Is this something we should signal? And the investigator had said, well, no, this looks like a consensual trip. So I was reassured that not only was my judgment converging toward the fact that Mama JF does not need help and that she's a free woman, she can decide to do this. And also there was these social signals reinforcing that I wasn't the only one thinking this. Other people were thinking this also. So that was the state in June and July, but then, the months pass and now we're in October. When is it that worries are justified? And so there was a building up of stress in the people who love her. And my position has always been to all of these people, to any friend of Mama JF and to any person involved. My position has been, I saw her go. I saw her wanting to go. And so I don't need to call the police. But if you feel that it warrants a call to the police, I respect you and you go ahead and call them. And I will not say who ended up calling, but someone ended up noticing that somehow Mama JF was missing and maybe knew about me. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it all happened, but someone ended up noticing, hey.
He sounds like he's more upset that someone reported it to the police than he is that she went missing.
There's this girl and her loved ones don't know where she is. And so they made a call to the police and this launched a whole investigation.
He's more upset that someone reported it than he is that he hasn't had contact with her in months, his wife.
That I've been involved in for, I don't know, maybe 4 days, 5 days, I don't know. But the feds are coming regularly at my house.
The feds are coming regularly to your house? Yeah, sure. You're not a suspect, bro.
They are waking me in the morning.
They're waking you up out of bed to ask you pressing questions. Yeah, you're not a suspect.
I sleep late, and all of my loved ones sleep late. We're just that way. We are computer programmers living in the night. That is just what we do. And I'm a man of the internet. My show is at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it's not even the end of my day.
Usually camping has like an end date. This is something different. And there have been stories. There was a story I just heard the other day about these two women who like sold everything they owned and they went to like live off the grid in the forest. They died like a couple weeks later from hypothermia. But like that does happen, but you think there would be some type of preparation to this.
So they wake me up every morning. There are days where they come once, where there are days where they come twice. There's always a truck of the feds in front of my house.
Okay, not a suspect. Sometimes they come and wake me up once. Sometimes they come multiple days, and there is always a truck full of feds in front of my house. How long do you think he's not a suspect? Thank you for the follow.
And there's lots of people making jokes right now on the social media, like, JF, where did you hide the body and all? I knew that this was coming to this no matter what, because we live in a society that just can't accept the cost of liberty. The cost of liberty is you're going to have a bunch of females make terrible decisions. But no, I have not killed Mama JF, and I would be very surprised.
This is the cost of liberty. Women are fucking dumb, and once we have liberty, they'll just go die in the woods. That's it.
Surprised that I'm even considered a suspect in any way, because I have left records, I have left electronic traces.
You subscribe to the channel, or you follow the channel, and we're in the middle of a murder investigation.
Of my dropping her alive in front of cameras of a gas station.
Oh, wait. I was under the impression he recorded it. He's saying that he dropped her off alive. He keeps being very, very specific that he knew she was alive 2 days after, knew he was alive. She was alive when she dropped him off. But it sounds like he's saying the gas station where he dropped her off had security cameras. He didn't actually record it. The gas station would have had cameras, maybe. And maybe the police have already pulled those.
there has been plenty of electronic records of the fact that she was alive many days after leaving me, after asking me to drop her at a certain location.
2, not many, 2. Right? Because according to your official narrative, she got rid of her phone 48 hours after she left.
And yes, you know that there are so many cameras these days, and
I don't know if he has property or not.
Purchases that I can prove. I would be very surprised that I'm anyhow considered a suspect, but the feds are still.
I would be, listen, this guy again, he thinks he's the smartest motherfucker here. You can't compete with him intellectually. The federal agents can't. The viewers can't. Nobody is on his level, right? He will outsmart you so quickly you won't even realize what's happened. I would be very surprised if I'm a suspect in any way, shape, or form. Like, what the fuck? Why? It's always a significant other.
Very thirsty for information, so they keep coming back. And honestly, I'm very impressed by the quality of their work. But it's like, they understand also that I'm a guy on the internet, so I'm not. I have a high security home. I'm not going to let them in, you know. But it's like, okay, they want every possible detail they can have about Mama JF because they are on this program of finding Mama JF, and it's fascinating to see a bunch of professionals like this who really are interested in her safety. Let me tell you, I'm hostile to the government in general, but I've always known that within the police force, the vast majority of policemen are excellent, just excellent workers and professionals, and I see it in my are interested as they are on this program of finding Mama JF, and it's fascinating to see a bunch of professionals like this who really are interested in her safety. Let me tell you, I'm hostile to the government in general.
I'm hostile to the government, but it's very interesting to see that there are people that seem to be concerned with her safety. It's very interesting. I don't know why. Why are people concerned with this person's safety? Weird. At least they're professional workers.
But I've always known that within the police force, the vast majority of policemen are excellent, just excellent workers and professionals, and I see it in my interactions with them. They understand everything. So so that means they're coming to me and they want to know exactly what she said before leaving. They want traces of where were you when you dropped her, who could know her, who are her friends. And it's like, I pulled Mama JF out of a lifestyle, and I never really got acquainted with this lifestyle. You know, I'm not the kind of, I don't have respect for human beings, especially not homeless druggies, you know? So it's.
I pulled her out of a lifestyle. I don't have respect for human beings, especially homeless druggies.
I'm not the kind of guy who will approach a female and become friends with her male friends. So what I did with Mama JF is I extracted her from her misery and from her lifestyle.
The guy, this guy is JF Garpy. JF Garpy. He used to be a lot bigger, like 2015 through like 2017, maybe on YouTube. He's a alt-right, white nationalist, advocates for a white ethno-state, race realist. He's just a fucking internet racist. But he had a big following back when that was all YouTube was about. JF Garpy. It'd be hard to spell his last name, but JFG is the name of his channel.
And I brought her to a greater lifestyle, cleaner, less craziness.
I had her in a cleaner lifestyle with less craziness. Is that what he fucking said?
And I brought her to a greater lifestyle, cleaner.
I brought her to a greater lifestyle that was cleaner.
You know, less craziness. So that is what I've done. And so when they ask me, where could she be? Is she friends with this guy? Is she friends with these guys? It's like, I have just...
All of Canada is the same. We don't want to hear it, sister.
To generalize that Mama JF is a super social creature of Montreal. And that's what I've been telling them. And
I've been telling her everything I know. She's a super social creature and probably in Montreal. Don't know what to tell you. Sorry. It's her freedom.
Yeah, so that's been so the feds being extremely, you know, on their path of we need to save everyone. We need to save everyone.
Kind of a drug addict hoe, yes. Very surprised or very upset someone reported it. Very surprised they're even looking for her. And she's a drug addict hoe bag.
And I'm like, it's amazing to see the conversations between them and me because I'm actually less motivated at finding Mama JF than they are. I've never requested any of this. I want to be clear. If Mama JF is out there listening to this, I want to be clear to assume that finding everyone. And I'm like, it's amazing to see the conversations between them and me because I'm actually less motivated at finding Mama JF than they are.
Yeah, we can tell, dude. I'm less motivated to finding her than the police are. Yeah. As bad as motivated as you are at finding the murder weapon with the police. Of course. You're not concerned, motherfucker.
I've never requested any of this. I want to be clear. If Mama JF is out there listening to this, I want to be clear with you, Mama JF. I've not been requesting an investigation against you. I've not been trying to send the feds after you. I've not been wanting to do this episode even. I'm forced to do this episode because there are forum posts right now that your face is on whatever the feds have published. And then people are looking at my tweet today informing people about this. And they're like, well, look, he calls her Mama JF. He doesn't even call her by her real name. So he's not really interested at them finding her. It's like
I do believe that. Like I understand what he's saying. He's like, oh, it's her freedom. Like maybe she doesn't want to be named, blah, blah, blah. The cops have decided this is a missing person of the utmost importance. The least you could do is say her actual name is this. If you happen to see her, if you want to leave a tip, you're not going to be able to you're not going to leave a tip saying Mama JF. Her actual name is this. Last place she was spotted was here. She really could be in any area. But this is her picture. This is her name. It's weird that you won't even give her name while people's out here fucking looking for her.
There's a lot of interest to wade in here. First, by naming Mama JF a way that I've never named her publicly, I would only be misleading people. The fact is,
No, you wouldn't. If you said Mama JF is missing, well, the police are very concerned with finding her. I'm starting to be concerned about her safety. Maybe she's just out having a sabbatical. That's cool. She can stay there if she wants to. But we just like to check and see if she's okay. Her real name is this. This is her description. This is the article about it. Here's the tip line. That wouldn't be misleading people.
Everyone who interacts with me through this platform knows Mama JF as Mama JF. So that's her name for you guys.
If he said her real name, that would be misleading his audience.
I'm not going to reveal her real name
because there's no way like you could say, I'm CBC, but my real name is Will Bird. Like there's no way you could do both of those. It'd just be misleading people.
Because honestly, I don't even know if she wants to be found. And that is something you have to wait when you're in this situation.
She doesn't even want to be found. That's fine. When there's a concern for her safety, especially at the level the police believe there is, find her. Are you okay? Yes. Continue on. She doesn't have to come back home. She doesn't have to contact you. She doesn't have to contact her fucking family. As long as someone can physically put eyes on her and ask her if she's okay in an environment where she's safe. Like there's not someone like their fucking arm on her shoulder or some shit or a gun to her back. Fine. But she doesn't want to be found and that's her right. Okay. The cadaver dog will find her either way.
Situation. I am a bearer of the interest of Mama JF. Maybe she doesn't want to be found. Maybe she's on a huge trip, whatever, thinking, going to parties. Maybe she's going to Woodstock in the U.S. I have no clue.
Yep, that's where she's at. She went to the Woodstock in the U.S.
But maybe she doesn't want to be found, and that's part of her liberty that I have to defend.
He said multiple times he's not interested in finding her. He's very combative with the government, giving them the least amount of information possible.
I'm not going to act like these worried families who want to help someone more than they want to be helped. Because one thing I have learned at enormous cost in my life is don't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. And so I'm like to these feds, I'm like,
please understand, you're going to pursue a fugitive who has committed 0 crime. She's going to be playing with you, sending you on false traces.
Yeah, and they're not looking to arrest her. They're looking to confirm she's all right. It doesn't matter that she's committed 0 crimes. It's a welfare check. We don't need a crime to do a welfare check. I can call one on anybody. Cops come knock on your door, ask if you're all right. You don't answer. They say, hey, we couldn't make contact. That's it.
She's going to have her hoodie hiding her.
You guys donate. We'll be on the first plane to Canada. I'm pretty sure that it's a very small place, and Sister Doll said I could stay at her house, and we'll start the search from there. I'll take Gilligan. He's basically a cadaver dog, I think.
Herself from facial.
He rolled in a dead animal one time, so he's got to be good at it.
Cameras everywhere she enters. She has dropped all of her electronics behind. She's basically 007, but she has no mission, and she's not fleeing you guys for a crime that she did because she's a good person. She's not going to commit a crime. That's the situation. You guys want to have fun finding her to be sure that she's safe, you go ahead. But I know Will,
especially when he's clearly a suspect. No matter how many times he says he would be surprised if he was a suspect, he's got to know he's clearly a suspect. They're speaking to him every day. There's a truckload of people at his house. They're waking him up. They're like, why didn't you fucking report this? They seem very concerned with finding her. You have to know you're a suspect. So if for nothing else than clearing his name, even if he fucking hates her now, clearing his name.
When I see it, and her will was to go out there and for whatever period. I didn't know when she left, whether it would be a 2-week period like last time, or whether it would be a 2-year period. She could be on a container traveling toward Morocco right now, or whether it would be a 2-year period. She could be on a container traveling toward Morocco right now.
She could be on a container. Who speaks like this? That's literally the description of like sex trafficking, right? She could be locked inside a container with a bunch of other naked and probably Asian women on their way to Morocco. What? She could be in Woodstock. She could be being sex trafficked. Who knows? It's her right to do it. And I'm not concerned about it.
And she could have dealt with the locals at the port. She could have talked to a boat driver, and
she could have talked to the locals at the port. She could have talked to a boat driver. I don't think that's the right term. Atsuko will straighten us out. She'll give us some stupid, overly fucking simplified Japanese word for boat driver. But she could have dropped to the boat driver. At the port, she could have gave him cash and said, strap me in that human trafficking container. I want to go. She's 30.
Give him some money and get on the boat. Who the fuck knows? I mean, and so that is...
Oh my God. Miss Press is banned from answering questions. 3 years we've been doing this, and I've never seen her give the right answer. Ever. That was the straw, Miss Press. What straw? I think the straw in the middle of the field. No, the straw that broke the camel's back, Miss Press. No more answers.
That is the situation. And to people who are saying, well, he doesn't make all efforts to find her, he doesn't name her in her tweet, or he doesn't show a photo of her.
I wish Tim Ballet wouldn't have retired. I mean, been forced out because of all the sexual allegations. Maybe he could find her.
I'm not going to show a photo of her or name her when this is not my...
No, the 19-year-old was the autistic one.
Quest. This is not my quest. I had a visual confirmation from Mama JF live in front of me that she wanted to go away. So as far as I'm concerned, she's still in a trip. She's still out there just tripping.
As far as I'm concerned, if literally they find her skeleton 10 years from now with a rusty knife still stuck through her skull, she was literally just on a camping trip, fell on her own knife, buried herself inside a blue tarp, and decomposed there. As far as I'm concerned, we're going on a trip on our favorite rocket ship.
And I'm not going to publish her image because I don't know whether she consents to it. I'm not.
Imagine someone goes missing. The police are involved. There's like search teams out looking. and the significant other's like, I don't want her picture out there. What if she doesn't want her picture out there, okay? Unless you've got consent, I'm not publishing her picture. Fuck off.
Not going to name her name because I don't know if she consents to it.
I'm not even going to give her a name. My wife.
If she wants to call me and say, JF, I want to be found, or JF, I don't want to be found, she could do it, and she can do it. So yeah, what I said in my tweet is, if you guys want to help the police, and you've seen Mama JF somewhere, you've seen her at a gas station, you've seen someone who looks like her, you just call the police, or check my tweet, and you will find a Proton Mail.
Do not, if anybody hears my voice covering this story, do not send a credible tip to this motherfucker. Because you know where it's not going? To the police. He's going to use that to tie up loose ends. Jesus Christ.
Email address. If you don't want to be in contact with the police, just send me an email and I can relay any information that I think is relevant or factual. I'm not going to relay trolling, so you guys can already forget the idea of trolling me. I'm going to relay what seems to be important, but it's probably Mama JF is out there having
all from what, a fucking Ouija board? Smoke signals. You guys ever heard you ever heard the joke about the guy driving through the desert and the guy driving through the desert and he keeps running up on Indians that have a boner? Have you ever heard that?
Having fun, probably exposing herself to huge risks. You know, the risks of street life and anonymous life. When no one is there to care for you, you are at risk because no one knows. No one knows if someone has raped you and just put your body in a ditch.
What? What are you talking about now? Oh, it's a hard life out there for a mama out there in the wilderness. What if she's raped and in a ditch? What if she is raped and in a ditch? Nobody would know. What? It's an old joke I heard. So one thing I noticed when I traveled out towards like Oklahoma and places like that, like doing jobs, is they have a lot of jokes about like Native Americans and shit. White people and Native Americans and interactions like that.
Probably.
Which we don't have around here because there aren't many Native Americans left around here. The casino could be raped
what
in a
seems
ditch.
to be important, but it's probably Mama JF is out there having fun, probably exposing herself to huge risks. You know, the risks of street life. And
so it's probably the huge risk she's exposing herself to as a street urchin is probably what's going to get her killed. Not me. I didn't do anything, but she is exposing herself to a lot of risk. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's dead tomorrow. Okay.
Anonymous life. When no one is there to care for you, you are at risk because no one knows. No one knows if someone has raped you and just put your body in a.
This is what he was literally saying when she was already dead, lifeless, and he was still smashing her head in with a shovel. No one would even know if you're out there by yourself and you're raped and you're in a ditch. You don't have me caring for you and loving you.
A ditch and no one is there to check. That's the consequence of anonymity. That's the consequence of having no one. That is the cost of liberty. But we've chosen to, and Mama JF has fully chosen.
I've convicted him already, she said.
To run with that cost. So it's like she has her husband right here, ready to care for her, ready to give her security and comfort and not demanding anything.
Her loving husband, doting and loving husband sent at home, not demanding anything, ready to love her and care for her and provide for her. But it's too bad she's just out there in the, in the wilderness, or she'd be right here in the warm with a full belly and husband. Yeah, they're married.
So it's like she has her husband right here, ready to care for her, ready to give her
husband. She has her husband.
Her security and comfort and not demanding
security, comfort
from her.
Not demanding anything.
to expose herself to whatever risk it is, and she totally has the right to do so. Shadow Band says, if someone could get away with murder, it's JF. But if someone could get away with faking their death, it's Mama JF.
If someone could get away with murder, it would be JF. If someone could get away with faking their death, it would be Mama JF. I wonder if that... damn it. The who is the Tim Ballard psychic he uses? She contacts who does she contact? Some type of angel or something? Nephi? Maybe we should get the Tim Ballard psychic to contact Nephi, son of Lehi, from the Book of Mormon.
That is absolutely correct. I mean, you have found an interesting duality right here. Absolutely, totally the style of Mama JF to basically fake her death, or to just...
It's totally her style to fake her death and disappear and leave me here looking guilty as fuck.
Disappear in a way that she can switch identity. I mean, she's... and it's amazing because Mama JF doesn't watch movies like CSI and 007 or... she doesn't.
Stop saying it like that. Fucking snow Mexican. Ruining the great movies and video games.
Watch James Bond and gets excited at it. But her life is a James Bond movie of its own.
Ninja.
That is what is so amazing. Holy shit. What a crazy woman. Who, but you know, out of the crazy women who have been in my life, she has always been morally...
She doesn't watch the movies like I watch, like, you know, a documentary on the best way to get away with murdering your wife. Instead, you know, she just watches, you know, the ceiling of her tiny makeshift casket I buried her in.
Straight, you know. Yes, all of this disappearance is causing some kind of shake-up and chaotic thing in my life. I mean, I'm getting woken up by the feds every morning.
Janine's got a fucking dump truck as a profile picture right now. Big old black ass. Woo! Her Facebook page is fucking wilding out.
They're knocking at my window and
raise my blood pressure.
I'm like, what? But I'd much rather this than evil stuff, than attacks on loved ones. I would much...
What? I would rather the police be out looking for my missing wife than evil stuff and attacks on loved ones? What?
Rather the chaotic nature of Mama JF, but with a kind of moral pillar to it, than anything else, anything more evil. Forex says, often when worried families get the state involved to save or help someone, they make it significantly worse for the person. There is very little help the state...
Listen, there are some times that authorities are brought in to help or intervene, and they may make it worse for the person. That's typically not a missing person who wandered off into the woods with little to no ability to survive, and winter's coming in fucking Canada. Okay? There's going to be very, very few reasons that they could potentially make her life any worse than it is right now if she's still living.
Can give to a person against their own will. That is very wise. And that is what I was telling the policeman, you know, wherever Mama JF is, it was her choice to be there, and it was her choice to run these risks, and she would hate it to hear that.
It's her choice. Again, all this risk she's taken. It seems like in his head, he's trying to make it out that this is such risky behavior that it wouldn't be abnormal if we never saw or heard from her again, or we found her dead, you know, whatever. Like, that's what he's trying to justify when he keeps saying, like, it's risky. There's nobody to watch for you. You could be raped in a ditch. You could be in a container on your way to Morocco. She chose these risks. She took these risks, and it's her choice, and she's allowed to do that. He's setting something up. This motherfucker, you can't convince me there isn't more to this.
People are looking for her. So now there's a whole national campaign to find Mama JF.
Why does that bother you? She's a missing person that no one's heard from in months. Why does it bother you?
And I will ask Mama JF and you guys, just to calm all these people, can you please collaborate? Like, go ahead and just
to calm everybody down. Someone say they saw her and she said she was fine.
Just, if you've seen Mama JF alive and you can reassure everyone and you can calm these people and you can make so the feds don't knock on my door on an everyday basis.
Well, you're not a suspect. Don't worry about the feds. They're just sitting out in that truck just in case she wanders home.
That would be very appreciated. As far as I know from this investigation, as far as...
Not for me. Not for finding my wife. Not for proving she's okay. Not for relieving the stress that I've been feeling, thinking she could be dead or in a ditch or in a container in Morocco, or paid a boat driver to take her to boat driving school. But for everybody else, to calm down Twitter, please work with the police or whatever.
My interaction with the police, I understand it to be, they are not interested in any form of persecution of me, of Mama JF. They are just interested at establishing that Mama JF is alive.
Yeah, that's how it starts. They're not going to come in and say, hey, we're prosecuting you for her murder, or she's in trouble for leaving without permission. They want to find her, establish that she's alive. If she's not alive, you can guarantee you they're coming for prosecution for you.
So, Mama JF, if you hear this, you have a chance there to calm all these people down. Only with a word from you, I'm sure.
That's right, War Talk. He's only concerned about how it affects him and calming everybody else down. He's not worried about it. He's not concerned. She's been missing since mid-June or July, and none of her family or him, we don't even know if her family knew. He claims she was talking to her family, but no one really knows. But a concerned citizen, I think a neighbor probably, reported not seeing her for a while, and then that prompted a call, and then he had to tell him the truth. What he's most concerned about is that the police are actually looking for her. It's her choice. If she doesn't want to be found, she shouldn't be found.
Sure, they would be reassured. Silver.
But he's also the type of person that believes a woman's place is in the kitchen, having babies, cooking meals, blah, blah, blah. They shouldn't be working, white ethno state. But now it's all about liberating women to the wilderness.
Spider says, JF is such a loyal guy. I really hope he finds a loyal wife.
June
we should
17th,
pull all of our super chats together and order him one from Japan. Well, talking about wives from Japan, it's a loyal wife from you. I'm sure they...
Listen to this. Listen to what he's engaged in. While his wife's missing, his legal wife is missing. No contact for months. No one knows where the fuck she's at. She could be dead in a ditch, by his own words, raped in a ditch somewhere. Listen to what he's engaging with his chat.
Would be reassured. Silver Spider says, JF is such a loyal guy. I really hope he finds a loyal wife. We should pool all of our super chats together and order him one from Japan.
We should order him a mail order bride from Atsuko territory. To be fair, when I talked to her, she wasn't that respectful. Okay, couple things. I expected her to be more respectful of my manhood. She wasn't. Okay. 2, I expected her feet to be smaller. They weren't. Looked like she boated in on those sons of bitches. Gigantic whopping feet. A surprise to me, but there you go. 2 things I noticed.
Well, talking about wives from Japan, I mean, yes, Martin Shkreli, oh my God, he scored. He scored the ultimate jaw-having Asian. I have never seen this, ladies and gentlemen. The sexy body of the Neotenic Asian combined with the perfect jaw of the European genetics. How the hell, where the hell does Martin Shkreli find such perfection? Tiffany Fong is new girlfriend of Martin Shkreli. Yes. Oh my God.
So now he's joking about mail order brides from Japan, and the ultimate score is to have a pure as snow white Japanese wife. Look out, Itsuko. He's looking for his next victim. Potential wife.
I'm so happy for you, Martin. I'm so happy.
If you don't know, Martin Shkreli is the pharmacy bro, the guy that bought like these drugs, the patents on these drugs, and raises them like thousands of % higher. Like he took a pill that was like $3 and raised it over to like $500 per dose for like HIV/AIDS or some shit like that, some maintenance drug. Like he's kind of a piece of shit. They call him the pharma bro.
Daryl says that's almost too much. I mean, this is the point at which it's almost there. Balloon Nut says, sends $10. Thank you so much. He says, are you serious? Did Mama JF really leave the family for no other reason than to be a drifter? I mean, it looks like it. It looks like it.
To be a drift. She left. She left her husband, security, heat, a home, food, and potentially like her significant other to be a homeless drifter in Canada with winter coming. Got it. You are innocent enough. We don't have to. You have to Google every fucking naughty thing I say. You're beyond innocent enough. Now, can he afford to house your feet? I don't know. I was expecting it to be like some Chinese feet binding technique or something, but you are innocent enough.
I mean, you guys know we have seen her here on the show, leaving back like a year or two ago, and we have seen her again disappearing. And you know, just before she left in June, I remember a bizarre show where I accused her of.
I don't know why I went with tiny feet. I guess for the feet binding thing, Etsuko is very tiny. She's like a mini-me.
Terrorism. Because she tried to enter the studio with something that I do not allow at all on this show. Like, at all. And she knows it very well that there will never be such things on this show. And she attempted to surprise me by surprise opening the door of the studio and came running.
I'm from the backwoods of Tennessee. So we usually judge people on how far we think we could toss them if worse comes to worse. And I would say I could toss her a good 11, 12 feet, something like that.
To my camera. And I had the chance to turn off the camera just before she arrived to me because it's like 2 meters. She did a 2-meter run to try to violate one of the ultimate rule of the show, a rule so intense that you guys cannot even ever hear it. That you guys cannot even tell you what the rule is. And
what?
It's like,
hold on, something's going on.
And then I said that like you just before she arrived to the door of the studio, never be such things on this show, like prism. Because she tried to enter the studio with something that I do not allow at all on this show, like at all. And she knows it very well that there will never be such things on this show. And she attempted to surprise me by surprise opening the door of the studio and came running to my camera.
Wait, is it nudity or drugs or what the fuck would she have? That is such a staunch rule that she came sprinting in with it.
And I had the chance to turn off the camera just before she arrived to me because it's like 2 meters. She did a 2-meter run to try to violate one of the ultimate rule of the show, a rule so
the ultimate rule. Are you sure it isn't ultimate?
So intense that you guys cannot even ever hear it. That you guys cannot even tell you what the rule is, and it's like. And then I said, Mama JF, you're banned from the show for a couple of weeks because that was actual.
Banning your wife from your YouTube stream for a couple weeks. Now, don't get me wrong. Me and Mariah's had issues, and a lot of people like to bring up like Mariah is not. Everybody knows Mariah's not the greatest with money, right? So we have it set up a different way because there's been a couple spells, manic spells, where she spent a ton of money and you know, shit like that happened. But banning her, like I wouldn't punish her. I wouldn't send her to her room. I wouldn't banish her from the show for 2 weeks. I would, you know what I'm saying? Like she's not a child either.
Terrorism. you have Mama JF.
Terrorism?
You're banned from the show for a couple of weeks because that was actual terrorism.
Terrorism. I'm going to start saying it like that. Islamic terrorists.
You have attempted to terrorize me, and yeah, so that was maybe weeks before she left. I don't know that it's directly related, but I think that she was starting to kind of be in a mood of party, and in her party mood, she had forgotten that there are serious rules in Papa JF's house. So yes, that is basically all I have to say, and this story is so weighing on my mind that I don't think I can continue the show tonight with news or.
Yeah, there's no way that I would banned from the show. You are banned from the show because you're a terrorist. That is so fucking weird. Like, imagine she says something that comes across the mic that you didn't like or that was against your arbitrary rules you just made up, and you're like, okay, well, now you're grounded for 2 weeks. Give me your phone and go to your room. Like, that would be so fucking weird. But when he says a ban from the show for 2 weeks, it's one thing for like a platform to be like, okay, the show's suspended, whatever, I've been banned. But to ban your wife?
Stuff of a frivolous nature, that this is too much on my mind. And that is why I had to take a break also.
Such a frivolous nature of all this stuff. It's too much on my mind. It's weighted on my mind. So I had to take a break.
To say, and this story is so weighing on my mind that I don't think I can continue the show tonight with news or stuff of a frivolous nature, that this is too much on my mind.
Not because his wife's missing, but because now it's public. He did shows for the last 3 months that she's been missing. All his schedules, never missed a single fucking one. But now that it's public, he's like, oh, it's too much on my mind. I don't even know if I can do a show now.
And that is why I had to take a break also 2 days ago. It's because, man, just waking up early.
Imagine this. I don't always mention Mariah on the show, but I often do. And sometimes she'll pop in or whatever, or be here doing laundry or something. Right? Or I mention the kids. Imagine I just didn't mention Mariah for 3 months. And then one day you guys see a news article that says local Tennessee woman jumped on a raft, decided that she was going to take it to the Mississippi River to live among the seagulls and Louisianans. And I was like, oh yeah, I just thought it's her choice, guys. Just want to hop on a raft. And I kept doing shows. Everything was fine. News story come out and I'm like, hey, I don't want to get in her way. She likes to hop on rafts.
Is something that I had the privilege in my life.
She likes to hop on shit, but it ain't rafts.
To attain such a degree of luxury.
But it could be used as a flotation device in case of emergency, just so you guys know.
That I can wake up whenever I want.
They're frivolous,
whenever I
that's
feel
right.
like, all the time. To continue the show tonight with story is so weighing on my mind that I don't think I can continue the show tonight with news or stuff of a frivolous nature, that this is too much on my mind. And
the next time you see Mariah, she'll be in a fan boat going, shoot him.
That is why I had to take a break also 2 days ago. It's because, man, just waking up early is something that I had the privilege in my life to attain such a degree of luxury that I can wake up whenever I want, whenever I feel like, all the time. But for 4 or 5 days,
That's kind of weird. Now that your wife's gone, you can sleep in, and your biggest inconvenience is that the federal agents have been asking you questions about your missing wife.
back to waking up at 9 a.m. Because the feds are... And they knock for a long time, before they wake me up. So it's been...
His only complaint is I want to get back to waking up when I want to, not federal agents knocking on my door asking me, where's your wife? Have you seen her? The fuck?
It's been tiring me because when you change my sleep schedule where I'm super used to this very long sleep where I'm fully rested, now suddenly you mess up my normal sleep and suddenly I'm more tired. So any information would be appreciated to calm all of these people. And it will have been a short show for tonight.
This is so fucking weird, dude. This is so... You can't make this story make sense. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can't do it.
That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. I can read actually what I wrote today on Twitter. The police in Canada is looking for Mama JF because in true Mama JF fashion, she has left our home in June and has disappeared from the map. I am sure that Mama JF is fine. I know she has been safe for at least 2 days after I dropped her where she wanted in June. Mama JF left our home entirely voluntarily to go live a life of adventure wherever it would bring her. But since she has electronically disappeared, not connecting to her cell phone or updating me or her family, I ask anyone who would have encountered her to just notify the police so that they can know she is safe. And I ask her, if she wants, to leave a note to the police, me, or her family to ensure everyone of her safety. If you want to send an encrypted tip anonymously, I can receive them at jfgarpy@proton.me. And someone was asking, did everyone's girl lose her shit this summer? Mine went full postpartum bunkers in August. And I said, that's the cost of female liberty. 50,000 policemen, full-time salary, nationwide searches. We could feed the homeless 1 billion times. Just take our...
So he just said he had no respect for homeless or drug users, but he would rather be using the money that may or may not be looking for his missing wife to feed the homeless he has no respect for.
Society, and just allow some degree of control by husbands onto their wives. Just basic control of some little financial aspects. Some like, no, you won't travel to Peru, and so I'm going to decide for you that you won't travel to Peru. Just allow some form of control of husbands over their wives, and you're not going to get events like the Mama JF craziness here. But if you want that female liberty, Papa JF can provide. And because we are in a liberal society, yeah, I'm going to stand by the ideals of our society. And the ideals of our society first is, I cannot keep a woman against her will. I cannot go against her request. I cannot intimidate her to stay with me. I cannot manipulate her emotionally to be one way or another. And so what are the tools I have left as a man? The tools I have left is, all right, I respect your liberty. You want to go out there and do your crazy lifestyle? Where do you want me to drop you? I will drop you in the safest way and place I can, but that is all I can do. And
where do you want me to drop you? Again, your wife says, I want to leave you forever and go live in the nature. Where do you want me to drop you off at? What is going on?
And that is the cost of liberty. Thank you so much for listening, everyone, and much love. I'm personally very confident that
this is so crazy to me.
Scare, and I hope that Mama JF understands that she is causing
it's just a big scare, guys. Don't worry about it.
Scare. And Mama JF, I'm not hostile toward you or anything. I haven't demanded this whole investigation against you. I respect wherever you are, and I hope that you're happy. Just give a call to someone. Just leave a little email here or there. Give a clue that it's really you, and just give a sign of life. You will calm all of these people. That is it for tonight. Meanwhile, some people have different girlfriends. This is the girlfriend of the guy who got shot in the video that I've shown yesterday in New York. Oh my God, she has a K marks. So that's the girl who was standing in front of her dying boyfriend, and who I was like, she doesn't seem so concerned. Like, she seems concerned at a level not of, oh my God.
Are you arguing that someone doesn't seem concerned enough about their significant other? Now, this person did get stabbed or whatever, and she's standing there, and it doesn't seem. I think people that are going to make statements like this, they need to take some type of course on like human emotions and reactions. I think most people expect reactions to be like they're in a movie when people genuinely don't have that reaction. There are people that have like no reaction to it. Like someone comes up and gets stabbed and they just fucking freeze. Mariah flaps her arms and screams to the heavens. Like that's just what she does. Like First of all, most people are inaccurate in what actually happens when a traumatic or crazy event happens. Second of all, shouldn't you be concerned about anything like your fucking wife missing?
My boyfriend's going to die. She seems more like, oh my god, that is some trouble I didn't want to have to go through tonight. And it turns out she's a extreme Marxist with a nose ring. Holy shit, the red flags. Yusamin says, is that why JF kept using the word crack whore around that time? Well, crack whore is my general term for, for women who live at the bottom of society and who are into drugs. So yeah, crack whores is...
crack whores.
I've been alarmed at the...
So that's why he uses the term crack whore, is because Mama JF was a crack whore before he tried to rescue her.
Of crack whores many times in my life. Good night, everyone. Much love.
What the fuck, dude?
I've been alarmed at the reality of crack whores many times in my life.
He's been alarmed by the reality of crack whores many times in his life. He just said that she was basically like a homeless drug addict when she found him. And now she's tried to return back to that life. So she's a crack whore, right?
Good night, everyone. Much love, and let us remain hopeful.
So you tell me, what's going on here, chat? What in the actual fuck is going on here? Like I can't figure out any other way to get around like his nonchalance. What the fuck is like? Why does he not give a fuck about anything? He seems more upset that someone reported it, and he gets woken up by police officers that are searching for her than he does about her actually being missing. What the fuck is going on? We got to keep up with this, by the way. Somebody bookmark the Royal Canadian Mounted Police website or some shit. This is crazy. Mama, grandma. I've been listening in shock over here. That dude is legit for real. He killed her, no doubt. That's right. You got it. In Quebec, I'm trying to read some of the Rumble comments that I don't get to read as often. Let's see. Pause that. In Quebec, wives don't usually take their husband's names, so I think he is not the norm. He has done all those things to her that he just listed. Probably he's snitching on himself. I don't know. I saw that Martin Scarelli. Enough said. Like I don't know what the fuck's going on here. It just Ethan Ralph was covering this, and I saw a tweet he put out. He's like, JF just needs to stop talking now. And then, yeah, he could have scheduled those messages to go off like on a timer, right? I don't know. This is just fucking blows my mind that he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck what's going on. Like, oh, I wish they'd stop waking me up. I like to sleep till at least 11. For some reason, they're out here looking for missing people at 9 a.m. What the fuck is going on? Anyways, that's JF. Sorry it took so long to like get to his backstory and stuff, but I feel like it's relevant about like the 19-year-old autistic, about all his failed marriages, about his white ethno state. His whole background is relevant. And the reason he has an audience and this girl showing up, leaving her whole life behind. Now he's calling her a crack whore. I have no idea. Shit's wild. Guys, make sure you check out and support the stream while we're offline. Go to coldbeer.fund. If you want to contribute to the stream, coldbeer.fund. It's this website where I erupt from a nice young Asian man's butthole, and use one of the links there to support us. We got to get back on some Patreon content. I hope to make some tomorrow, hopefully. Be back here with you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed the coverage tonight, even though it wasn't something we normally cover. I think this is a wild story that deserves some attention. And we had fun and laughed a little bit too. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see everybody on the next one. Don't do anything JF Garpy would do to a 19-year-old autistic girl with a 10 or 11-year-old's mentality. Thank you guys. See you on the next one. The charity link's still available. It should be for like a week.
About this douchebag.
But yeah, thank you.
This particular show, you don't have the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the fork and balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott. Here we go. I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well listen bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believers? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord, head to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like fool in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped it to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine, with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? It's it. Stop. Hold on. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously. This is bombs and alcohol. Oh, give me a... Oh my God. Damn it. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Round 3. Down goes Nino. Please say it isn't so. Got him backed up on the...
Oh, did you just get here? Michael?
Things are getting
Oh, it's all good. We covered a murder suspect. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
No damn.
I don't know. There weren't any words in there. Just see you on the next one. Have a good night, everybody.